This week, life is a highway, and I do not want to ride on this one all night long as we discuss the 1993 suspenseful horror kind of kids movie. I don't know what the fuck to call it. The Good Son. Everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me as always, the ineffective child psychologist, Tim Yobo. How are you doing today, good sir?
Let me tell you, one of my notes is, how the fuck does she have a practice in this town?
Dude, she's fucking can't do anything right. She is the worst. Discussing a client with like just his roommate cousin. Oh my fucking
with
god!
With a kid?
With a kid, with another kid.
Don't talk. Don't go to school and tell tales about. When I'm telling you what a fucking crazy ass cousin you got. They're cousins, right?
Yeah, they're cousins, kissing cousins. Because folks, we're talking about The Good Son, 1993. We're This might be the last 1993 movie we're covering for the month, actually. Now I'm looking at the calendar, Tim.
Today's the 17th.
Today is the 17th, but we have to do a Christmas special, right?
Do we know what we're doing for a Christmas special?
No, we don't. What should we do for a Christmas special, Tim? This is a good discussion. Let's get into it. What movie do you feel is very Christmassy but is horror or horror adjacent? Aside from like Black Christmas.
Yeah, well, you got that. Well, we already did that Killer Santa Claus movie, right? We did the Tales from the Crypt one with the Killer Santa Claus.
Yes. We didn't do Better Watch Out? That's a fun one.
Okay.
Remember that one?
What was the one
Tim?
that just came out last year? Violent Night.
That's
not really a horror movie, though.
Yeah. There's that new one that just came out this year too. The what the fuck? What? It's a Wonderful Knife.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that what the fuck? What? Oh, the chick gets kills the town serial killer, but then she also decides she didn't want to be born. So then she comes back to a world where that serial killer is still hopping and bopping around.
I like the idea of it. I like it. I'll give them that play on words with the title.
Yeah, it's a fun premise, and you know, it's the people that did what the fuck is the name of the one? The chick that she dies and then she wakes up and has to figure it out every day. God damn it.
Me?
No. That was a good show though. No, it's a movie. That's the movie with the chick that gets killed by somebody with a mask on. Then she wakes up after a one-night stand every day, and it's on her birthday. Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
It's the Happy Death Day people did. It's a Wonderful Knife thing. So
I don't think I saw Happy Death Day.
You know what? Hey, get on Twitter and tell us, what do you think we should talk about for Christmas?
There you go.
Maybe we could just have a Christmas special. I could put on some cheery music, and
let's leave it up to our audience, who's shown nothing but restraint so far since the videos have dropped of us.
Oh, they've shown restraint, Tim? Because last I saw was you with tits.
Yep. Thank you, David from Australia.
Thanks, David from Australia. I can't wait to get a picture of you, David. Take that for what.
I mean, there's nothing else to do down there, right? So.
Yeah, except you're constantly avoiding death, I suppose. So maybe he's got to like blow it out.
He should blow a poster of that. Maybe I could be like the #1 selling pinup in Australia.
We could do it. That's a good point. The hottest chicks in Australia, and it's just Tim Yobo's face badly on like a Farrah Fawcett picture. Tim Yobo's face on who else?
No,
Cheryl
don't give me any idea.
Teagues.
Don't defame Farrah by putting
Cheryl
my face
Teagues.
on her.
Who else do we got here? Carmen Electra.
Carmen
Electra.
Electra.
On a Carmen Electra. That'd be a fun one.
Well, that's a big jump. Farrah Fawcett, Cheryl Teagues, and then Carmen Electra. There's nothing in between that
we have to,
that gap.
No, we got to jump through generations, right? I guess we could give you like a Kirstie Alley.
No, never Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
Jenny McCarthy before she was crazy and was all anti-vax, right?
Yeah, she did go bonkers, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that people were getting advice from the chick on Singled Out. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
That's like I forgot what it was, but some Hollywood actress had this whole post about how we're living in the end times. It was on like Hollywood Reporter. And somebody retweets it, and then I like that their comments like, "Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm gonna wait until Alyssa Milano."
I saw that. I saw that one. Yes, I have to wait for Alyssa Milano to weigh in and see.
And I know I've told it before, but it reminds me of MTV News when 9/11 just happened, and they brought in Redman for his thoughts. It's like, Redman, what are your opinions on this?
Look, when you got a 24-hour news cycle, you got to do something to fill it, right?
Yeah.
If ABC News can pick up a couple of Redman fans by having them on the air.
I think that's the widest I've ever heard somebody say Redman. Redman?
Really? Redman. I did say Redman. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, think about Spider-Man. Redman.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spider-Man. You sound like a British dude when you say it that way. You know?
I think that's more New York accent.
All right, leave some tea and crumpets out for the Spider-Man.
Yeah, all right,
something like that.
I got that chimney sweep thing going on with it.
Little bit. So, Tim, buddy, we're talking about The Good Son, but before we get to that, I got to ask you the age-old question, my friend. What is it, besides that Stella, that you've been consuming?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, really? What do you think of it so far? First, tell me about your character.
I told you I was a druid.
You're a drow druid.
Yeah, drow druid.
Because Tim likes double Ds.
Hey, I just this is my first character build, and everything I kept reading about it and looking on the internet, it's like most people starting the game over like 10 fucking times before you find a character that you like and everything, and a playthrough on it.
Yeah.
So for my first one, I just picked whatever easy. I like how it has like all different things. Like if you do one thing, because I know there's a thing I read where if I save the fucking goblin bitch in the cage, that all the rest of the druids are going to be against me for the rest of the game. But if I save her, it also helps me with having to do something where I got to wipe out a whole goblin city. It makes it easier for me to do it because, I don't know, whatever it is. So, but I like it. I lost a couple of fucking badass rolls where I had to get a 10. I got like a fucking 3.
You haven't been save scumming?
No. I'm saving it, and a couple of times where I got fucked up, where I died, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen if I die and I don't get to finish the game. So I did it, but I fucking started like half an hour back. But yeah, I know. I got to start saving like every 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, that's how some people are playing it. Like if they're like, oh, I want to try to pick this lock, and it's like, say, a challenge, difficulty class of 20. They'll save it and then try to pick it. Fail.
Oh, no. I'm only doing that if I get like fucking wiped out.
Gotcha.
Then I'm like restarting and shit like that. But yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, right. Before you do some major thing, you just save it, and then if it doesn't work, you just keep doing it.
There's also a setting on there called Karmic Dice.
I turned it off.
Okay, yeah.
Because I read on the thing, if somebody said turn it off because it actually works against you when they're rolling against you, they get higher rolls. So
yes, yeah. Plus, it makes it less likely for you to get 2 high rolls in a row. Because whatever your previous roll was, it goes further away from that, just to avoid you getting a bunch of 1s. But I mean, that's part of the fun of the whole game, right? Is fucking up.
Yeah. I got a couple. I don't know what it was, but like I said, I fucked up doing something where I was supposed to get a 10. I got a 3. I don't know. Whatever. That's part of the game, right?
Yep.
And I still have the magic thing is getting me. I just can't figure out. I found out that I can, when I come across some fucking dead person on the middle of the road, I can use a spell to talk to them, and they'll tell me, I guess, how they died and shit like that. Like, hey, there's a secret cave over here. I've had to switch into a cat a couple of times to get in one of those fucking burrows. Can't pick shit up when you're a cat, though.
No, you certainly can't.
But I'm digging it. It's pretty good.
That's good. So
I'm trying to bang the fucking devil chick, but she's still too hot to fuck.
So the devil race is the tiefling. Would you say they're the most bangable so far?
No, is it the tiefling? No, it's the one that we rescue. She comes out of hell. She's literally on fire. Where she got that like fucking metal thing in her chest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
That was
that's
one of
not
the
a
missions.
cheap.
We had to go and get some fucking metal to bring back to some guy so he can try to change the heart so we can fuck.
Gotcha. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun with it, man. Any
It's cool, yeah.
movies? Anything else like that you've been champing at the bit to
Somebody in
talk
the
about?
Discord, I think it was the Grime Bin Discord, they were talking about a movie I asked you to put in the blood bank, Targets from 1968.
Yes. Yeah. What about
Holy
that?
fucking shit, dude. It's a legit, serious fucking movie. It's one of those movies that, like, if the Grime Bin did it, it would be like, stop, watch the movie before you do listen to the podcast.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where it'd be too good to fucking shit on it. This is maybe the best fucking movie I've ever seen with Boris Karloff in it.
Wow, that's saying something.
And I think it's the first movie because I was listening. I liked it so much. I watched it immediately again with the director's commentary, Peter Bogdanovich. It's his first directing movie, and Samuel Fuller was like helping him out with all these fucking things on what to do, this, tie this together, stuff like that. It's a really great fucking movie.
Okay. I'll
Definitely recommend it.
I'll have to add that up to the bank then and take a look at it. That sounds
it
fun to me.
happened 1 year after what's that guy's the fucking Whitman who went up into the tower in Texas and started shooting people.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's kind of based on that a little bit. But it's really fucking good. I couldn't believe how good it was. It had me hooked in like when the first like 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay. So you said it was Targets
from 1968.
Plural. Targets from 1968. All right. Well, you know what? I'll set it up to download, and then it should be in the bank by tonight. How about that?
Yeah, I think it must be on Blu-ray because, like I said, where I looked at it, it had options going from like 1 gig, I think, up to like 12 gigs. And the one that I watched had like the director's commentary on it, and also had commentary from a movie critic or something like that.
Oh, it's a Criterion. It
might be a Criterion. It's got all that shit on it. Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's how good the movie is. I can't believe this movie isn't as well known as it should be. It's really fucking incredible.
I hadn't heard of it until you posted it, man. That's cool. That sounds like something I'm definitely
a Boris Karloff movie where he's basically playing Boris Karloff, actor in the movie who's getting ready to retire because he's sick and tired of doing Victorian horror movies that he knows with what's going on in the world, it's not scary anymore.
Right.
So what do we got now? We got a fucking family annihilator and a guy who's going around fucking shooting people at will.
Damn. That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. The way that they weave him together into the movie, it's really fucking good. I couldn't believe it.
Nice.
So that's about it for me.
Sounds good. Buddy.
Oh, and I got my wife got me ginseng. Oh, super fucking expensive ginseng.
Yeah.
I'm like, why you get me that? She's like, it's good for your bing bing. No, I'll tell you, it's the worst lubricant I've ever used.
Yeah. Hard sticking it up your ass. The whole
it's that fucking 80-year-old ginseng root.
So when Aussies ask if you fancy a root, what they're talking about is stuffing a ginseng up your ass.
That's what it is, yes. Australian ginseng, very famous throughout the whole world.
Yeah. Notoriously famous for their ginseng, Australia. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool, man. So I've been messing around. What have I been playing, man? That's a good question. I've been messing around on my Steam Deck a little bit, playing Dead Cells, the roguelike. That's always fun. And then a little bit of Baldur's Gate, of course. And watching, there's a new season of Kitchen Nightmares that's popped up on Hulu. And Tim, you're going to love this. It's way shittier production value. And you can see that he's reading his lines like off of a prompter or something the whole fucking time. It's terrible. But the first one...
They're not even trying anymore.
The first one is at this place called the Bel Air Diner. And so he goes in there and he's looking, and he's like, oh, God, look at this menu. Because there's shit like coq au vin on the fucking menu.
It's always, the thing is, there's always like an 87-page fucking menu that they have.
Right. But there's also like gyros and calamari at a diner. So my wife's like, what the fuck is this? And I said, this is in New York, isn't it? So I look it up.
Is it?
It's in Queens. I told my wife, I said, listen, diners on the East Coast are completely different than diners on the West Coast. Because out here, Tim, a diner, you get breakfast, you might get some sandwiches, and then for dinner, you might get a burger. They might do like a all-you-can-eat spaghetti or something. They don't really fuck around with dinner.
Diners here, it's literally, it's a thick fucking menu that you get. There's like 18 different things that you can order at any given time. Yeah. Salisbury steak is on the menu at any day. Yeah.
So that's I don't want to say it's great, to watch, but it's something to put on, you know.
I went through my phase of watching that because I told you I was watching the Hotel Nightmares that he was doing, and
Hotel Hell,
the worst thing that you can do with these shows is binge watch them.
Yeah.
Because after you watch like 5 or 6 of them in a row, you're just like, okay, here's the pattern. A, B, C, and D. He's going to walk into the place. The menu's too big. All the stuff that he's going to order is going to taste like crap. While the chef and the owner's convinced that they're going to be like, this is the best food I've ever eaten. Then he's going to go into the kitchen and find all this crazy shit. The chef or the owner is always going to, there's always going to be one that argues with him to the point of either quitting, giving up, or walking out. But at the last minute, they have a sit down. They talk about the guy's dead father, who he promised to run the restaurant or the hotel the right way. And that's it. They turn it all around.
Segment producer for Kitchen Nightmares, Tim Yobo here, folks. Jesus Christ.
Very important to get the dead relative in, or the kids at home that you mortgage the house on, and that's it. They're going to be homeless if the restaurant doesn't take off. Yes.
I mean, that's exactly the formula for this one. It's these two brothers that hate each other, but they don't really. And the dad,
because what trauma did they have in the past, right?
Their uncle fingered them. I don't fucking know. They don't really get into it. And the dad that wants to leave them the diner, but he doesn't think they're ready for it. And it's fucking ridiculous. And you nailed it. But occasionally you would see somewhere it would subvert that. Like there's somewhere he goes in the place, it's like the food is great. It's just that they're mismanaging shit, you know. But that's very, very fucking rare. Or you get the weird.
That's not as fun. Yeah, you need to have that drama.
Yeah. The food's got to suck. I will say though, this is the first time I've seen him throw up, so that was pretty good.
Here's the thing that I always wondered: because obviously when they're doing like that stress test, or like at the end to see like how the restaurant's working out, they invite all those people to like run the restaurant and shit like that.
Right.
Who are those people? Do they know what they're getting? Do they know that they're getting the before?
So I've read interviews.
Kitchen Nightmare service instead of the after Kitchen Nightmare service.
Yeah, I've read interviews with people who had a restaurant that was on Kitchen Nightmares, and they drop a little bit of knowledge about it. Like for instance, Ramsay, the overhaul and everything on the restaurant is considered an investment in it, and then he takes a cut of their profits after the fact.
What?
Yeah. For a short amount of time. It's like for a couple of years or something. Because, dude, they're dropping like $100,000, $200,000 in some of these places to refurbish it and bring in new tools and shit.
That's what I always wondered too. But I always figured it was like one of those things because, like at the end, you see, we want to thank our special thanks to Whirlpool and Cuisinart and shit like that.
So this one, Tim, you can appreciate this one. He goes into the diner, he orders his food, gets a cup of coffee, right? He takes the coffee, takes a drink out of it. He's like, ugh, this is gross, right? And I'm like, dude, I've worked in diners for a long time. Diner coffee is strong. It's not good, right? That's the point. So, but then I'm like, that's fucking weird that he'd freak about that. But then, of course, you get to the end and it's all like, and check out this amazing new espresso machine I got to you by Corvair Coffee Company.
Yeah, that's how I figured how they got most of their money on it and shit like that.
Right. So I paused it and I asked my wife, I was like, what happened if he goes in there and the coffee's fantastic? He takes a sip, the coffee is great, and he's like, well, fuck, I guess they don't need the product from our sponsor.
No, what if he shits on it and they have a Corvair machine that they made that coffee with?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Now you're fucked.
Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. No, we have that machine. And as a matter of fact, the guy just serviced it yesterday. He showed us how to make this new recipe. That's what you drank.
No, it's the other thing. It's like, it's just, I can't believe that there are kitchens that are that filthy and dirty. When you know Gordon Ramsay is showing up.
That's the part that drives me nuts.
Yeah,
when
if it's a surprise pop in, yeah. Okay.
But it's not a surprise. It's never. No. But no, this one, Tim, they were innovative in that I saw they had a tub of chicken halves, right? In their walk-in fridge that was fermenting. Like it was in a liquid that was bubbling. It was so rotten. And I was like, fuck, dude, let that rip. This might be a new kind of booze that I've never heard.
I was just going to say, it's chicken moonshine. Yeah.
Just getting fucking
What's that moonshine taste like? Chicken?
I'm getting fucking blind drunk on cock juice tonight. Ugh.
If that doesn't get you, the salmonella will get you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh God, I remember who was that? Somebody was saying you could only get salmonella from salmon. I don't remember who the fuck it was. It's one of them dumbasses that got famous.
Was it Jessica Simpson who thought the chicken of the sea was?
That was good. Thought the chicken of the sea was chicken. Because it's just chicken of the sea, right? Fucking genius. All right, Tim. So you suggested The Good Son.
Out of the movies that you gave me to pick from, yes, I thought this was the better of the choices.
Well, I said 1993 horror. You could pick any other thing, too.
Yeah, well.
But okay. Tell me then, Tim, what is your history with The Good Son?
I think I saw this once when it first came out on video, and that was it. Never thought about it too much again. And just every once in a while, there's a reference to it. And it was an hour and 30 minutes.
It was an hour and 30 minutes. That's true. It does have Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood in it.
Yes.
It's also fun. It's very young Elijah
directed,
Wood.
Right?
Yeah, mostly competently directed, I would say.
They put those kids in some crazy-ass situations where I don't know how they filmed some of the things that they filmed.
Yeah, some of that, I don't know how you can do a stuntman for Elijah Wood hanging off of the fucking the treehouse.
Well, I watched the entire credits. There's like 30 stuntmen who worked on this movie. And they're like subsets because they have like the regular subsets. They have like, I think they have ones for the tree houses. They have one with swimming, one with the ice skating and all that shit. So.
Oh yeah. There's a few. I mean, just the standing on Mom's suicide cliff, like that right there alone is enough for me, man. Fucking shit.
That was freaking my wife out. Yeah.
Yeah. Wife has an issue with heights.
When it pulled back like that, you could see just how far it just kept going, and then after a certain while, you're like, you got a little fucking asshole kid running around. Stop going up to the fucking cliffs.
Yeah. So I'm similar. I think I saw it over at a friend's house. Actually, they rented it and we watched it, and it's weird because I've seen it a couple of times since then. Right? It's popped up. It was like I remember it was big on one of the TV channels back in the day.
Probably TBS.
Probably because it is R, I believe.
I think it's only R because the fuck when he says fuck or don't fuck with him. Yeah.
Because Macaulay Culkin says fuck one time because there's really no blood in it.
No,
there's no nudity.
Times where he's peeking in on the mom or shit like that, right?
Nothing like that. It's very mellow. Just the kid screaming fuck. I guess there is blood on the dog when they throw it in the well.
No, you only see it, the bag has blood on it.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, maybe killing a dog in a movie, which trigger warning: dog gets killed in this fucking movie by the little cocksucker.
On screen though, you hear a ka-tunk and then more.
Yeah, well, all right, whatever. But so, is that enough to get an R rating? One fuck? It's got to be the fuck. That's it.
It's got to be because it's a kid that says fuck, like. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at a parent...
Yeah, because wait, isn't it that there's a Marvel movie where I think somebody says fuck, and that's PG-13.
So this says the MPAA gave it R for acts of violence and terror involving a disturbed child.
Which one? Because both of them are fucking disturbed.
Oh my God. Elijah Wood's character is out of his fucking mind with his weird...
Let me tell you, when that fucking kid turns that shit on, well, she's not my mom, she's yours. I'm like, oh fuck, you got his ass. That's it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So for this one, we've got. Let me pull up my notes here real quickly. It was directed because you brought up that it was competently directed. So I did look into this. Directed by Joseph Rubin. Now he directed Sleeping with the Enemy. He directed The Stepfather from '87 and Dreamscape from '84.
I don't think I've seen Dreamscape, but I've seen all the other movies, and they're all pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamscape was Dennis Quaid.
Never a big Dennis Quaid fan.
Yeah. I get you. I get you. But Sleeping with the Enemy was fantastic. I mean, as far as directing, content-wise, maybe not the best, but yeah.
Julia Roberts, what do you want?
Yeah. Written by Ian McEwan. He wrote Not a lot I'd be interested in, if I'm going to be honest with you. So it's a novel adaptation, but he actually did the adaptation for this one. So no one to blame but himself.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote Atonement and Enduring Love, which...
Atonement? What's Atonement? That's some religious movie?
Atonement 2007 with James McAvoy and Keira Knightley. You got me. Let's see what this is about. 13-year-old fledgling writer Brioni Tallis irrevocably changes the course of several lives when she accuses her older sister's lover of a crime he did not commit. So this guy's got a lot of hang-ups, I think, about like being falsely accused, because the good son,
that's right.
you know, Elijah Wood's character is very commonly falsely accused of some shit. In fact, that's most of the movie.
And that kitchen scene.
So stupid.
You are out on your fucking ass. You fucking with my spaghetti and meatballs? Come on.
And that looked like that was a big ass container of spaghetti and meatballs, man. God damn. So as we said before, Macaulay Culkin stars in it playing Henry. And this is a 1998, just off of the Home Alone, or 93, sorry, just off of Home Alone, just going into Home Alone 2. And apparently his father wanted him to be in this movie so bad that he told the studios that he was going to pull him out of Home Alone 2 unless he got to be in The Good Son.
Well, I mean, look, I think history has shown that his dad's a great manager and knows exactly what he was doing, right?
Yeah, he also demanded
that the sister was in it, that the brother was in it.
But
I'm sure that there was a cousin who might have gotten into it.
So the sister's in it, playing the sister, but the brother is just in a photo.
He's supposed to be a young picture of Macaulay in it. Yeah.
Rory McCulkin. He's the one that... Did he even go on to anything?
He was in an episode of Law and Order SVU where his mom, Mayor Winningham, was giving him psychiatric drugs that the drug companies were testing by just dropping them off at people's doors so the doctors wouldn't know. And then he went in and he did a school shooting. That was
the whole, what was it? The acne medication that they said caused Columbine. That was a theory for a minute. Yeah. What was was it Accutane? One of them. There was some acne medication that they said that it interfered with SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which are antidepressants. Yeah, they said that Accutane interfered with SSRIs, so kids who were clinically depressed and taking those would get on the Accutane and would cause them to have psychiatric problems. There was
just
never
those two assholes, though, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, is it was never proven, and I don't think they even were on Accutane. Like, I don't know. There was some weirdness.
So Bolton would have to be on antidepressants and using that acne medicine and have it hit them at the same time in the same exact way. Yeah. That seems plausible, yeah.
Or you could go with Gus Van Sant's theory from that movie Elephant, that they were both secretly gay, and that's why they did it.
That's why I've never seen that movie. Yeah.
That is a piece of shit. And a terrible fucking premise. So you get Elijah Wood playing Mark. Of course, our Hobbit buddy. Well, what
he's
did you
good.
think?
He's a really good actor in this fucking movie because I don't think he's a real psychotic in real life, but he's a little fucking psychotic kid. He's almost as bad as fucking McCulkin in this movie.
Yeah, and he's got such a love for the horror genre too. I wonder if a little bit of that came from doing this movie. You know, getting involved in it at such a young age, because he's in that new Toxic Avenger that's coming out.
Yeah, that's right. And he did Maniac, right? He did the remake of Maniac.
Yes, which was a fantastic remake, by the way.
Yeah, and dude, unless you're a horror fan, you don't do a fucking remake of Maniac, especially if you're Elijah Wood after all those fucking Lord of the Rings movies.
No.
That's you want to do that fucking movie.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. He made his money on Lord of the Rings, and he decided, I'm going to go out and do whatever the fuck I want to do, which is the best kind of celebrity to be. He also was in Wilford, which is a fantastic show. It's the one about the guy whose neighbor's dog anthropomorphizes around him, so he's like talking to his neighbor's dog.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a good show. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. Then you've got Wendy Crewson, who plays Susan. That's the mother.
Uh-huh.
So Tim, on the hair scale, where do you put her?
Bottom. Can't take this hair. Sorry.
It's not great. She was in Air Force One. That's a good movie, right?
With Harrison Ford?
With Harrison Ford. Yep. She was also in that the Schwarzenegger movie nobody talks about, The Sixth Day.
With Gabriel Byrne?
Michael Rappaport's in it. So is Terry Crews.
I thought that was the one with Gabriel Byrne where he was the devil. Oh, that's End of Days.
That's End of Days. No, The Sixth Day. A man meets a clone of himself and stumbles into a grand conspiracy about clones taking over the world. So
it's Total Recall, but on Earth.
So it's Us before Jordan Peele. Right?
Jordan Peele, you hack?
You hack, Jordan Peele. Oh, man. So, yeah, then you've got David Morris, who plays Jack, the dad, kind of.
Yeah, the not stay-at-home dad?
The stay-away dad. He's really hands-off in this movie, man.
I mean, look, after driving, 13 states?
That's fair.
I'm dropping that kid off and running as fast as I can, too. Yeah.
He's really in it for the beginning and then a couple of phone calls. And that's about it.
Maybe they had him for a day?
Could be. Wouldn't you get a bigger actor if you just had him for one day? If you have a role for one day, don't you get a...
No, he's a good actor. He's always good in whatever he's in.
Fair, yeah. But don't you get somebody... Let's see, it was 93, right? Who do you get? Maybe you get a... you know what? I can't think of anybody better for just a single use.
For this, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. He's got to be cheap in 93, right?
Yeah, he couldn't be demanding a ton. That's for sure.
He's just off of St. Elsewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I guess all the money must have gone to Macaulay Culkin then. He's kind of the star, right?
Yeah, nobody else at that time. Home Alone just probably fucking huge numbers.
Yep.
So, yeah. This is before My Girl, right?
That's a good question. My Girl was... Yeah, I think this was before. Because when was My Girl? I'm looking it up now.
Then this, then Home Alone 2, and then My Girl, or...
No, okay, so Home Alone, then My Girl, then Home Alone 2, and this. So yeah, because My Girl would have been 91. Jesus. So he had I always like to point out Jim Carrey, right? Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber all came out the same year.
And what's the other one? Me, Myself, and Irene, which is a great fucking movie.
Yeah. Followed that up almost. So there was a point where Jim Carrey was almost competing with himself in the box office.
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous?
His movies are overlapping, yeah.
Yeah, so this was at that, Jim Carrey at his peak, because remember, he also had done Uncle Buck before he did Home Alone. Right, he was the precocious, annoying child in Uncle Buck.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched Uncle Buck.
Yeah, he's Uncle Buck, and he likes to fuck. So... That's about it for the...
that's Party Monsters.
Yeah. Oh, you ever saw that one? That's a fun one.
That's a great movie. That's really good. Him and that's another... Seth Green is fucking really good in that goddamn movie.
Yeah, he really shows his range a lot more in that than a lot of his other... It's a little bit better than Can't Hardly Wait, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Arcade.
Yeah, then Arcade. What a crazy fucking movie that one was, man. Oh my God. I love retrofuturism when they think they're going to predict what's going to happen with VR and shit. And
for the most part, yeah, no, just best to do it off screen and let the people's imagination go with it.
Yeah. So in an alternate universe, was The Good Son a short story by Stephen King?
No, because except for Apt Pupil, I don't think he's ever done just regular kill. Oh, I know, because he does crime novels now, like that Mr. Mercedes and other shit. But
that's true. I don't
think so.
There's nobody magical. You know what I mean?
There's no. Speaking of the trailer that's coming out, Magical Negro in this movie. So,
Yeah.
have you seen the trailer for that movie?
No, I haven't. What is it?
That's the name of the movie, and it's David Gordon Greer, the guy from In Living Color.
Oh, David Allen Greer?
It looks like the whole thing is that, like, from the gist of that guy was like they're black guardian angels, and their whole thing is to make white people feel better about themselves and to help white people out. So.
That's a fantastic premise for a movie, man. But I hope it's not one of those like the what was the horror movie where the whole premise was that we can't all be the first to die? Because all the characters in it are black, and they're like, listen,
yeah.
We're in
that
a
was
horror.
just like maybe 6 or 7 months ago, right?
Yeah. But I heard that one's kind of a letdown. So I hope it's not one of those situations.
No, because the trailer looks pretty good. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. That sounds funny on paper. You know, you could do a lot with it. And David Allen Greer did funny stuff before, so you know,
yeah, he's always good in whatever he pops up in.
I'll give him a pass on that. He was in Blank Man. Remember that one, Tim? Or are you drawing a blank, man?
I'm going to say I'm drawing a blank.
I think that is the first time I watched a movie that I can recall and was like, I feel dirty. That was bad. It was a terrible fucking movie. Yeah, Damon Wayans plays a man of spurious intellect, let's say, whose the whole gimmick is he invents a bulletproof spray that he then sprays on all of his basically homeless person clothing to fight crime.
It's news to me. I've never seen that movie. I don't know what you're talking about. So
you've never seen Blank Man? Oh,
I'm going to go with
Tim,
no.
buddy.
I'm going to go with no.
Tim, Blank Man came out in 1994.
It's not a horror movie.
I mean, I beg to differ. I saw it. I was fucking in fear for my life.
I'm horrified thinking about watching it, so
Holy
maybe that does count. Yeah.
Shit. I was 13 years old when this movie came out. It came out August 19th of 1994. That is insane because, oh man, that just gave me existential dread because literally my parents were like, here's some money, go see a movie. And I rode my bike across town. This is in Longview, Washington, which is
was it date night for them?
No, so they managed a motel, right?
Yeah,
and they lived in
every
it.
night was date night. Yeah, nice.
No, so every night was one person has to stay at the motel. They never had a day off, right? Because they lived there. So 24/7, you didn't pay rent, you didn't have to pay any bills, and you got paid. But you live there and you're on call 24/7.
Yeah, but that's still kind of cool because you look. I'm getting paid to sleep here, right? I'm getting paid to take a shit here. I'm getting paid to fuck here, eat here, watch TV.
Don't have to pay for electricity. Don't have to pay for cable. You get HBO. It's a good deal,
dude. Just get like a bunch of fucking electrical fucking outlets, extension cords, and just sell that fucking electricity.
God damn it!
As many fucking cable splitters as you can get. Make some fucking money.
Eddie. Yeah. Filling up fucking jugs of water and selling it to people. Yeah, Tim.
I got electricity, 10 cents a kilowatt. Come on.
You're sneaking all the leftover donuts from the continental breakfast, selling them to the buffet across town. Yeah, that's a good move, Tim. No, so I'm just realizing I was 13 years old. I walked out of my house, hopped on a bike, rode across town, and watched this fucking movie. Tim is like my daughter's age.
You gonna let your daughter do that?
Fuck no. Just hop on a bike and go across town to go see Blank Man? That's a terrible movie.
That's why I written down in this movie, these kids up to a certain point are living the fucking life.
They're getting away with murder.
All this kind of crazy ass shit when I was a fucking kid. Well,
yeah. Well,
except for the animal cruelty part, yeah. But when I saw that crossbow, I was like, fuck, I wish I would have thought about that when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was the bolt gun that he had. Fantastic. All right, so we open up on Mark standing in the woods, playing a little bit of soccer. And then this just random fucking menacing dude walks up to him and takes him to a hospital.
And he goes, milkshake. The code is milkshake. That's a deep grind bin, a mini bin reference.
Well, you got to have a code for any adult that's going to go pick you up, right? Tim, a
That's what you
code
said.
for you would have just been a guy shaking $5 at you.
For $5, yeah, you got my interest peaked.
Yeah, $10.
But then again, I'd be like, my parents ain't giving anybody $5 to pick me up, and anybody they would give $5 to pick me up, is gonna pocket that shit and not give it to me.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in similar fucking financial dire straits. My parents wouldn't have paid anybody to pick me up. No fucking chance.
He'll find his way home.
Yeah,
He's got a bike.
You can go watch Blank Man. It's fine.
Back then, the movies would let you sit there all day, so it's okay.
That's true. Yeah, I did sneak into additional movies from time to time.
I wonder when that stopped.
Sneaking into movies?
No, not sneaking in the movies, but like literally like buying a ticket for the 12 o'clock show and just sitting there after the movie ends and watching it one or two. I remember when I was a kid, we did that all the fucking time.
Yeah, we never did that. We snuck into different movies. We'd figure out the show times of movies.
Sneak in the movies, but if it's something like it's really good, like Conan the Barbarian or something like that, there's a lot of tits in it. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Yeah, but I don't think I know you can't do that anymore. But I'm wondering like when that stopped. Of just being able to buy a movie ticket and just basically parking your ass there for the whole fucking day until you were tired of watching the movie. Because there was also another thing, I don't think you can do anything. I remember when I was a kid, you could buy a movie ticket for a movie that had already started an hour ago.
Yep.
And walk into it, and then what you would do, you'd watch the last hour of it, and then you would sit and wait for it to start again. Then you'd watch the hour that you missed, and then you'd get up and walk out or watch the rest of the movie again. But
by the way,
you're not...
What a schizophrenic way to watch a movie, too.
I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're pressed for time or shit like that, it's like it's going to see Jaws halfway started, or going to see Julia with Jane Fonda in it.
Was it maybe like a 9/11 thing? Like afterward, they were so afraid of people like leaving bomb bags and shit in the theater that they'd clean it out.
No. I mean, look, if you're gonna leave a bomb, you want to get the fuck out of there as fast as possible. You don't want to sit there for three movies.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying more like that people would go through and do a sweep of the place to make sure nobody left a bomb and then like walked off after the movie or something.
No, because I remember when I was seeing the movies, the lights would come off, the ushers would come in, they'd be sweeping the fucking aisles up, throwing garbage, and you was just sitting there, and they didn't tell you to get out or anything. It has to be something where somebody figured out, like when movies were like doing good, like not like now, where like they're begging for people to go see movies, and like thank God for Godzilla -1 for people fucking going to buy a ticket.
That's a good point.
Where it was like, get them out of the fucking theater, because if they're going to sit there, that's one less ticket that if it's full, you can't sell. If it's a sellout, you already got 5 people sitting there for the last show. So
I mean, but come on, if somebody came in and was like, "Look, fucker, you're in my seat," and you knew for a fact you were watching a movie the third fucking time, you'd get up. You know?
Yeah, no, but back then there was no reserved seating.
Now
there's reserved seating.
I'll bet that's what it is.
My seat, get the fuck out of here.
With reserved seating, fucks it all up too, man. For sure. But you know what? I love it. I love the reserved seating. Big fan.
It is nice, yeah.
So he goes to see his mom die, apparently. So he's like looking at his mom's wedding photo for some reason. Then he goes over, like holds her hand, and she's like, "Oh, I love you, and we'll always be together." And he's like, "No, we won't always be together, because I'm not going to let you die."
Yeah, I promise I won't let you die.
This is how our movie opens. Folks.
Which I have a question, is like, how fucking sick was she, or were they just faking it, putting her in witness protection? Because there were no tubes in her, there were no machines, nothing.
She was fine. She was perfectly fed. She just wanted to get away from the family.
Fucking doughy-eyed kid. I can't take his eyes anymore.
She's going to ship him out to New Zealand. He can wander around in the woods with his friends. So now, of course, he dies. We cut to them dumping her ashes in the like side of the road or something. It's just like some shitty like desert area they're dumping her ashes. And then
she's one with the desert.
And then Henry watches a bird fly away, and he's like, "Oh, there you go. There's mom. She's
That's
in the bird.
My mom's spirit. Yeah, she's looking for somebody else's body to occupy."
Yep, she's as free as a bird now, Tim. And then we cut to the dad dumping him off at his brother's house or his sister's.
Because there's some job or something that he has to do.
He's got to close the Tokyo deal, Tim.
So that's where he went, to Tokyo?
Yeah, if he can close he's got to close the Tokyo deal. He might be in Tokyo, I don't know. But if he can close it within the next 13 days, they'll be set for life.
Okay.
So
whatever the Tokyo deal is, yeah.
Tokyo deal.
Nagasaki Tower. The plans for Nagasaki Tower, maybe.
Nagasaki Tower, yeah. No, it's so 93. The Tokyo deal. What would that be? Is that they're going to bring more like foreign motor cars over to?
No, 93. Toyota and Honda were already ruling the world.
Yeah, they had already killed.
Maybe something to do with whales.
Whales, yeah, maybe like whale oil lamps or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe he's helping to figure out a way to get past that whole fucking thing about not killing whales. So he's like, hey,
yeah.
Say you're doing it for science.
Maybe he's going to be the guy to bring anime over. Because 93, think about it. Because the first.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's when we started getting anime over in America really big time. I bet that's what it was. He was going to bring over anime. Then his kid would have been a fucking murderer. Right?
Something, yeah.
So then, okay. Shows up at their house. And immediately, fucking Mark or Henry. I'm going to confuse the names of them.
The kid's name is Henry. Right?
Henry
Mark is Doughy Eye.
Yeah,
Henry
Mark
is Home Alone.
Elijah Wood. Henry is Macaulay Culkin. So Henry drops down from the attic wearing a fucking Michael Myers mask.
Yes.
And I'm like, foreshadowing. Nice. Good call. Okay. So then he's like, hey, I made you a mask too. Why don't you wear it? Then we can be brothers or something. All right. Just put a pin in that.
How oblivious are these parents?
This kid is a fucking menace. Forget Dennis, which he also, forget that. Insane. The
worst thing Dennis did was fucking bother the old man next door. Not fucking kill his dog.
Hassled Mr. Wilson. Yeah, he didn't fucking create death traps and
what happened to Mrs. Wilson's dog?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? I shudder to think about it, Tim. I really do. So then they sit down to dinner, and the note I have is, okay, are they in Colorado or are they in New England?
No, they're in Maine now.
Okay,
because they drove from wherever it was that they were. Because he said at one point 11 states in 3 days was pretty good time.
So that would be definitely Maine. So again, I reiterate,
they got a lobster on the fucking table.
Is this a Stephen King story? I mean, they just have to.
It's getting closer to it, yeah.
So it's like Stand By Me, but instead of going to see a dead body, they're going to go create one.
We're going to make a dead body. Yeah,
there you go. Prequel to Stand By Me, how the kid died.
I was just going to say, we never really found out how that kid really died. Just supposedly he got hit by the train.
He didn't look hit by a train, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Looked like he was doing all right. You know what? I bet Kiefer Sutherland sucked his blood out and threw him down there. But that's what fucking happened. Dude, give me
after the orgy, they dumped his body.
Oh, God. Yeah, they all banged him out and then threw him down there. Jesus Christ. So yeah, they're all eating a whole fucking lobster. And you're already getting some clues that Macaulay Culkin's not to be trusted because he really enjoys breaking up that lobster a little too much.
And not only that, but he fucking right away, he's fucking kicking the kid's shin under the table.
What a dickhead, by the way. Just kicking the fuck out of him, man. And then they play it off, though, like it's a fun little happy, They're
both psychopaths. They're just psycho in different ways.
Yeah, that's bad.
I'm wondering if, given enough time, if Elijah Wood wouldn't have tried to kill Henry off to have the mom all for himself.
See, I see Elijah Wood's character like a Herbert West reanimator. I think he's got that psychopathic tendency in him, but he's more reserved. You know what I mean? He's not like Macaulay, who's just has no regard for human life or anything.
Yeah, Macaulay would definitely take his head off his headless body and try to eat Barbara Crampton out. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So I shouldn't talk about somebody I met like Barbara Crampton. Now it's weird to be like, I'd eat her pussy. You know? She's older.
It less weird? It'd be less weird if you thought that you never met her.
It's a good point. Yeah, I guess it's a little more flattering that way. That's a good point. You know what? I hope she takes it as a compliment. Only if I was dead, though. Only if I was dead and my head was removed. Only then.
Okay, you're one of those guys.
I'm a married man, Tim. I mean, come on. So, okay, then they decide to run off and play. And he's like, all right, let's go climb up into the craziest fucking worst constructed pile of shit treehouse.
I don't understand how that ladder system works.
So he's like,
there's an actual ladder that's like in an angle going up the tree, and then you start getting those planks that are nailed into the tree.
Yeah.
And then it looks like you gotta do like a fucking Assassin's Creed type thing, because like the last like 3 rungs of the ladder are almost like on the other side of the tree, and then you have to jump up into the treehouse and pull yourself up.
Yeah, you see, usually with the treehouse, what you want to do is you want to leave like an opening flush against the tree. So when you climb up through the hole into the floor. Macaulay's move is a little bit different than that. So he just made the floor nice and flat, and you got to like go up and around it, you know? But there was...
that's right. Well, he's crazy, so that's how crazy people build shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, he asks Elijah Wood's character, "Oh, you're not afraid of heights, are you? You know, pussy." Peer pressures him, climbs up this fucking craziest ladder you've ever seen to this. I mean, it had to have been 300 feet in the air, this tree.
And they're really climbing the tree.
Yeah, they're actually climbing this fucking thing. He gets up there, he stands on this branch trying to pull himself up. Of course, the branch breaks, and we get the cliffhanger scene of Macaulay Culkin's character holding Elijah Wood's character, and he gives the old, hey, if I let go, do you think you could fly? Okay, Tim, if you're visiting your cousin, the one that was trying to finger your other cousin in that car,
Cousin Patrick, yes.
Yeah, and he pulled this shit on you.
It wasn't my cousin, it was his half-sister.
Whatever.
But he didn't know it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
He's like, I don't know why I'm oddly attracted to him.
For some reason, we just have this natural chemistry. I don't know what it is. But if this cousin pulls that shit on you...
Nope, done. That's it.
Done?
No, I'm in my room for the rest of the 2 weeks reading a fucking book.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Maybe fuck that kid. How about that shit?
Catching up on my Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew.
Yeah, but no, instead Elijah Wood's tickled by it. He gets up there with him, and they roll around and play grab ass.
I told you, they're both psychos, yeah.
Well, the kid's got a little bit of an excuse because his mom died in front of him, and that's a little bit,
No, here's the other thing, too. I've written down is he's having way too good of a time too soon.
Yeah.
You think he was a good time kid on that fucking ride 13 states over with the dad, or he was just a sad sack sitting in that car the whole fucking time? And then all of a sudden, a treehouse makes him forget about his fucking mom.
Well, the dad had it figured out. He just gave him a Game Boy. And he's like, hey, what are you doing, blowing up the universe?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a real dickhead. Fucking asshole. So, okay, that's fun. Then they turn into the kids from that Aphex Twin Come to Daddy video. Because they're just running through this weird industrial warehouse with sticks, just banging into shit. And then
breaking windows, going into buildings that are condemned that might break and fucking fall down at any moment.
Tim, you got into some monkey shines as a kid, right? Like this?
This whole scene brought back memories, because when me and my friend, we would do shit like this. Literally, like, there was a fucking factory that was like closed down, and there was a broken window you can climb into. Hell yeah, we were going in there. We used to go to the fucking train yards and hang out. We'd jump on the fucking trains as they were pulling into the fucking station and try to see how far into the train we could get before somebody spots, and we'd run out. I remember one time the fucking train started chugging along, and I'd take a running jump off the fucking back of the train. I thought I was going to break my fucking leg jumping out of it. That was with Peter Nertney. Bleep that name out.
I just watched your video. Somehow it put like a bubble above your head of a thumbs up emoticon. Did you do, is that it?
Is that what it is?
Hey, thumbs up video. No, I don't know why the fuck it did that.
It did that when I was doing the Stephen Izzy show too. Hold on.
That's got to be your camera. It's got to be something
reactions
to do with your...
Reactions are off now, I think. Wait, now reactions are on, so...
Oh. This is some content for our video crowd. If you want to see the video content of Tim giving a thumbs up, just go to patreon.com/bloody bits. So anyway, yeah, they you know, I think I told the story before about when we tipped over that school bus, me and a bunch of friends.
That must have been fun.
To be fair, it was a non-operative school bus that was laying on its side.
So it's fair game. Fuck
yeah,
it,
we didn't, and it was in the woods. It was like in the woods near a school. Yes, we also broke into the school that night, but
what are you gonna do?
No,
statute of limitations are out.
It was the stupidest thing too, thinking back, because there's just like 6 of us kids. We all climb on top of this school bus, right, and just get it rocking back and forth by stepping back and forth, you know, until the thing hits the pivot point.
What can go wrong?
And starts tipping over. And this was the plan. This was our plan, was to tip it over, by the way. So then now it's tipping over on you. What do you do? Well, you got to jump some direction.
Jump? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't die.
What do you mean some direction? You got to jump in the opposite direction that the bus is falling.
Oh, yeah, precisely. Well, you can go forward or backward, too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But, yeah. No, we lived, though. So now they just start wrecking fucking windows in this joint. Dude pops in. Hey, you son of a bitch. What the fuck? And then they scatter, of course, run off and laugh. Tee-hee-hee. And
this town, let me say, the people who have jobs in this town making money. He's a night watchman at this fucking place?
Well, a day watchman, because when they run out, it's still daytime.
Yeah. So,
it's got to be a good gig.
The fucking the family therapist lady, they're all fucking making money somehow.
I don't think that's really a therapist.
Yeah, that's true. She's just some crazy old lady that...
Yeah. It's just some old lady that they're like, listen, she thinks she's a therapist, but she's a free babysitter. Okay?
Yeah.
We dropped the kid off.
You want to duck your kid somewhere for 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's your lady.
She will sit there and talk to him all day. But she's got ribbon candy. So it's fine. They'll be all right. They can just have some of that.
That's what makes you really crazy.
So this dickhead, they run over to this old well in the middle of a cemetery.
How does that work?
Well, that's where they put the ring girl.
Yeah, well, I have... bodies decomposing. Aren't they getting into that well? Is that where you want your drinking water to be coming from?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really get that one. That's not where I'd go to get something to drink.
Like, that's the other thing too. Is here's where the kid's hanging out in the fucking cemetery.
Yeah, just yet another little clue about how fucked up this kid is. So he had tucked over some cigarettes in the well. So he pulls out a little box, opens it. Tim, does that make you wistful?
No, because I wasn't stupid enough to be smoking that young. But just to see that in a movie. With the kid, 2 kids smoking a fucking cigarette.
How
at
young
that age.
Do you think they were?
In the movie, or what they were supposed to?
In the movie.
I think in the movie they're supposed to be like maybe 11, 12 years old.
Yeah, because I didn't have my first cigarette until I was like 14, I think.
I was trying to remember like the first time I tried one.
Well, I remember because
I was probably even younger than that, but
when I was 14, I was dating a girl that was 16, and she smoked. So she was like, "Hey, you want to have a cigarette too?" And I was like, "All right, whatever.
I'll do whatever it takes to hang out with a girl 2 years older than me." Yeah, hell yeah.
You can let me play with your titties some more? All right, well, sign me up. First time I ever smoked weed too.
No offense to you, Eddie, but what was wrong with her? What's a 16-year-old girl dating a 14-year-old boy?
Dad wasn't around.
Okay. So she went the exact opposite. She's like, hey, Dad, you're lucky. I could be dating a 31-year-old.
That's a good point. Yeah. No, Dad wasn't around. And that was a weird story because I was dating her friend before, and then we broke up. And then she's like, I heard you broke up with my friend. Poor guy. You want to talk about it? And then moved in.
Damn, Eddie. Shit, you must have game. Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I was 14, I was a piece of ass, Tim. And then never again after that. That's okay.
You're married now, so that's okay. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm married and just waiting to die.
You don't have to be hot anymore. You can let yourself go a little bit.
That's true. Yeah. Wait, I haven't started that already? Shit.
All right, that's what I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I just said, hey, it's your good cooking.
All right, yeah. I can't tell my wife that because I cook.
Yeah. All
Hey,
right,
it's
well,
your
that's
good cooking. No, she would bake, my wife. She's a good baker, and she used to make tom kha soup was her favorite thing to make when she would cook, though. If she,
Okay.
you know, the Thai kind of coconut cream, chicken, lemongrass.
I'd be more interested in the baking because
I was gonna
that
say,
appeals
Tim,
to me,
you're not
than
gonna,
the Thai soup,
yeah, you're not gonna be drinking that. She made it one time and it didn't turn out, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna cook that again now." So fair, you know.
So all she has to do is make something one time, doesn't taste great, that's it, never cooking it again.
Traumatized her, Tim. So they're having a cigarette, and then they argue over who's got the deader family member, right? Because he's all like, "Oh yeah, well, my mom died." He's like, "That's cool. Did they let you touch her when she was dead? What did her skin feel like?"
Oh, yeah, this is when we find out that he saw his dead brother and his skin was blue.
Yeah. So his little brother drowned in the bathtub, and he saw his little brother, and he's like, "Yeah, they don't want you to know about death, but that's why you got to do experiments, and you got to figure out about death on your own because they don't want you to know about it."
Because the dead can fly.
The dead can fly. Well, listen, we've seen enough Evil Dead with that spirit flying around camera.
Yeah.
I guess technically.
And we saw the spirit bird that his mom went into. That bird was flying,
True.
right?
True.
Flew all the way from Utah to Maine.
So he gets pissed off at this whole, like, did you finger your mom while she was dead or whatever discussion. They get into an argument, and then finally Macaulay's like, "Listen, man, I'm sorry about that, okay? I was freaked out about death, too. I don't know how to talk about it, and I'm a dumb little kid, right?" So, but then he's like, "Yeah, but you got to check into it, though, for science, right?" He's like fucking little Mengele going off there.
For science.
For science, yeah. So, okay. Next morning, they're walking on some, like, a bridge, like a little pier-looking bridge thing, and Chopper comes after them, right? So Chopper's chasing
that fucking
him.
dog. Jesus Christ.
It was an intimidating-looking dog, man.
Hell yeah.
And then for Macaulay Culkin's character, when they get past the gate, and he's like inches away from this fucking dog's face, barking at him like a fucking psychopath.
No, I'm going into the room. I'm reading a book for the next fucking 12 days until my dad gets home. What the fuck?
Yeah. I love that dog, though. He's a good dog actor. You don't get a lot of good dog actors. Usually they'll like tape the face, so it looks mean, and then it looks happy, but its face is peeled back.
It's 93, so
and then they play the barking, ruff, ruff, even though the dog's chill.
No, that dog looks like it was really barking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the disregard for children's safety in this movie.
I do love that the little fun fact is they weren't really smoking cigarettes. It was actually an empty cigarette tube with dried herbs in it. So the kids were smoking prop cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, what did they give them? Like those clove cigarettes?
No, it said it was dried. What was it? Hold on here. I'll pull it up because I was looking at it earlier and I'm like, I don't think that's appropriate, man.
Yeah, smoking.
Yeah. Good comment, Mr. Yobo. Smoking is smoking as you inhale from a gigantic bag of weed vapor.
This is vape. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not smoking. No, it says they were dried parsley and lettuce leaves. Ugh.
What the fuck does that taste like?
Shit.
Sorry, listeners out there.
Yeah, listeners who've
roll
smoked...
some dried parsley and lettuce. What kind of lettuce? Romaine, iceberg, what?
Maybe like that butter lettuce, the real good shit. That you buy it in the clamshells. And it's like still alive.
Would that be more like an indica or sativa? I
think that's like an indica blend.
Okay.
Sativa is more like your iceberg, right?
Yeah.
Then
no, romaine, because the romaine is light and fluffy.
That's
the
true.
iceberg's like a tight nugget, so that'd be more of an indica.
Yeah. Doesn't have a lot of flavor though, not a lot of effect.
True.
So, okay. Fucking then. Next day, the dog chases them down. Then we see the Henry's mom on this crazy fucking cliff where she goes to think about his dead little brother.
And she wear like a fucking cape or something like that this first time that we see her, right?
Yeah, it's a very, I mean, you could tell they had a shot in mind and they're like, we definitely have to get this shot like 9 times. This big sweeping shot of her in like a cape or a nightgown or a robe or something. Just staring out to sea over her kid that drowned in a tub.
Well, it's ironic because she's looking at the ocean and the kid drowned in 3 inches of water.
That is ironic. I guess it would be weird if she just was staring at the bathtub.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's a little bit more visual than her just like playing with a little toy, you know? Plus, we'll find out the toy is missing. So
That's
anyway,
huge. I've never seen a rubber duck that fucking big in my life.
well, the note that I have is that the duck should have doubled as a flotation device, so she should have been very suspicious.
Yes, or was the kid like he fell underneath the fucking rubber duck and that's how he drowned?
Oh,
he
no.
couldn't get out from underneath it.
Yeah. So then, okay, Henry goes off to show him his invention, which is a bolt gun.
A bolt crossbow, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cross bolt.
Yeah, so the way, and by the way, get this kid like into MIT or something, because this is a hell of an invention.
Yeah, he's not an architect, but he's an engineer.
He's effectively created like some sort of a hand crank winch that pulls back like a compound crossbow, but rather than it just having the groove that the arrow fits in, it's got like a metal pipe that he stuffs these bolts into. Then when it fires, it just projectiles them out. And we see because he shoots it into a tree.
He's got a scope on it, yeah.
Yeah, because he's all like, oh, we're going to aim it at the cat. And Elijah Wood's like, yeah, let's not kill the cat. And he's like, no, I'm just going to scare it.
I'm going to scare him, yeah.
And it sticks like a good fucking 1.5 inches into the tree next to the cat's head.
Next day, the tree's dead, yeah.
Yeah, the tree is fucking toast. And I love he's all like, hey, that's a pretty good device you made. He's like, yeah, but the sights are off.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Third hint, there's something wrong with this kid, yeah.
Yep. So Mark goes to therapy with, what the fuck? Where did they find her?
It says outside there's a fucking billboard, family therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, the size of this town, just being a straight up therapist would be tough. But to be a specialized therapist where you are only doing family therapy, not people who are divorced or anything like that, people just depressed and doesn't have anything. How she survives. Maybe she's like super rich and she's just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
This is how I get kids to come to my house.
Maybe her husband owns all of the abandoned warehouses in town. And he's just sitting on them waiting for that property value to skyrocket so he can fucking sell and clear out. So he's like, listen, all we got to do is we got to come up with property tax every year. You pretend you're a therapist. We'll get 3 or 4 rich clients. We're sitting pretty. As long as nobody shoots my guard dog, we're fine.
Yeah.
So he's talking to the therapist, and he tells her, he's like, I fucked up. I let my mom die. Not sure how he figures he let her die.
Does he say the mom? I think he just says, I let somebody die.
Yeah, I think... Because they're talking about the mom, and nobody's died yet except for the mom. The dog didn't die, nothing. Right. So, whatever. That night, he has a nightmare, right? He goes stumbling downstairs. Now, here's the next sign that this kid's a fucking psycho, because he sees his aunt, and he's like, Mom?
Why is she dressed like a ghost from fucking Victorian age?
Because she was going
walking around the house.
Because she's wandering out to the fucking cliff again, Tim. She just dresses like a ghost to scare sailors. I told you about that. I used to scare that fucking cop that patroled around our house out in the woods, right?
No, what'd you do?
There was a cop
dress up like a Victorian ghost?
Yeah, I dressed up like like a dandy fop is what I dressed up like. I had pantaloons and a puffy fucking shirt like Seinfeld. No, for guys, it's not creepy to dress up in Victorian era shit. Just chicks. You know, it's very flowy. For dudes, you just look like you're going to give somebody a quest. You know, you don't really look like you got much going on. So no, what would happen was every night, probably about around midnight, this cop would drive down this long ass road where nothing was there except for the road you turned off on to get to our house, right? And that road was a dirt road that went like a mile into the woods before you got to our house. So what I do though is at night I'd go out and have some cigarettes and walk around, you know, and I'd walk out by the road because that's where there was a clearing where you could see the sky and everything. It was beautiful. So I'm hanging out there and I see this cop car pulling up. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be funny to just stand off the road a little bit, just facing away from the road, and just, you know, so then the cop drives by, he sees someone standing there, right? He's like, what the fuck? This is the middle of nowhere. Because you wouldn't even know that the little dirt road to our house was there. So this cop flies by, and then for the first time he stops, turns around, and I was like, shit. So I dart into the woods so he can't see me. He stops his cop car on the side of the road. He gets his stupid spotlight out and he's spotting it around, like trying to feel like, where the fuck was that dude? So then this just became a thing that would happen a couple of times a week. Because I was like, well,
playing hide and seek with the cop?
Yeah, basically. He kept coming out there like, what the fuck? So this guy probably thinks that the woods are haunted or some shit. Probably thinks there's some, like, I don't know, there was some long-haired teenager's ghost or some shit.
Yeah, give that guy a gun.
Yeah.
You're lucky he didn't just start shooting into the woods.
Well, bullets don't work on ghosts, Tim.
So it's fine. It's okay to shoot through the woods then. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's like there's some fucking long-haired kid hanging out there smoking a cigarette.
Tim, you act like some country cop is just going to go around shooting willy-nilly. This is America, Tim. Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't happen, yeah.
Plus, and the video listeners can confirm this, the problem is I'm white, so nothing's going to happen to me.
That's true.
This is a cop in Washington State.
You could charge that cop with a knife in your hand, yelling and screaming. And he's like, please, please.
I could be yelling, get the demons out of my skull. It burns, it burns, it burns, with a knife in my hand. And they'd be like, he probably just needs a better job. Let's get him a better job. Yeah. So, okay, no problem. He hugs it out with his aunt, but then Henry sees a little bit jealous. Somebody's moving in on his woman. I mean, his mother, but his woman, whatever. So next morning, we see Mark's playing puzzles with the little sister. And then Henry pops by. He's like, look, man, ditch her. Let's go have some fun, okay? Like, all right, no problem. So up to now, Henry rules. We can all agree with that, right? So far.
Up until this point.
So far, he's pretty cool.
There's been some concerning things we've seen, but we're stupid little kids whose mom just died, so we may not be picking up on everything.
He's got a crossbow.
This is it. Yeah.
He's got cigarettes. He's little incident with the tree fort, maybe that sucked, but mostly he made you a mask. He made you a murder mask, so mostly he's okay.
Brother, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now he's like, all right, here's the deal. Why don't we go do some target practice with my bolt gun? Like, all right, no problem. They go over to the bridge where the guard dog is. And he's like, all right, I'm going to line up my shot here. And he's like, oh, okay, you're just going to like scare the dog. He's like, yeah, scare.
Yeah, just like yesterday, yeah.
And you just hear the ka-thunk, just the sound that they use, the Foley work of a dog getting injured. I don't know why. It always makes me laugh.
I will say that the one thing that I thought was okay with it is the sound that they do use for the dog. It sounds like the dog just like somebody stepped on his tail for half a second. Yeah. The sound that he makes. It doesn't sound like he got hit with a fucking bolt that probably went right through him.
Yeah.
If it went through that far into a fucking tree. But yeah, I was like, holy shit. All right, well, guess what, asshole kid? You're done, because how are you going to explain a fucking dead dog with a bolt in it? Well, you put a burlap sack around the fucking dog and dump it in the fucking well.
Yeah, they just wrap it up and chuck its ass down the fucking... No, yeah, you know what I want to see, Tim, is I want to see like a Ringu, but with a dog.
Ah, Ringo.
They thought they could just old Yeller his ass, but no. The dog wants you to watch a video somehow. Oh, man.
Hey, is old Yeller in public domain yet?
It's got to be pretty close, right? Like,
I
don't
know.
know.
Is revenge.
Oh God! So like the Winnie the Pooh blood and honey, you're just doing like
he gets rabies and then he just goes on a killing spree before they actually have to put him down.
Oh, that's Cujo.
Yeah, well, Stephen King. Yeah.
So we're just back to Stephen King. We've got the evil dog, though it did just get killed. Okay, so Mark's all fucked up because they just killed a dog and hid its body, like you would be. Henry, no problems, just chill. It's like, hey, whatever. It was an accident. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. So
you think I'm the kind of kid that would do something like that on purpose?
Yeah, I'm just a good kid, man. I mean, didn't you see the title of the movie?
I'm a good son, yeah.
A good son. So, okay. Mark heads in, starts looking at pictures, and then he finds one of his mom with his aunt.
I wrote down, who the fuck is that lady? And I was like, oh yeah, because wait, we find out when they drop off, they haven't seen each other for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This guy and whoever, if it's his sister or the sister-in-law, the brother or the brother-in-law, they haven't seen each other for 10 fucking years. I think it's
sister-in-law. But like, yeah, dude, can you imagine that? If you have like a fucking relative, 10 years, you haven't seen them, they just show up, they drop, hey man, my kid's fucked up because his mom died. I got to go to Japan. I'll be right back.
Well, here's what's fucked up about it too, is I don't know about the dad who has to go to Japan to make the business deal in Tokyo, but the dad in this movie who's a fucking doctor in that town who affords this house can go on vacation to fucking Utah or fucking Colorado, wherever the hell it is, to visit his fucking brother, his sick, his wife, his either sister who's dying of cancer or whatever it is, or his sister-in-law who's dying of whatever it is that she's dying of. Yeah. They don't see each other even then.
Well, to be fair, like being a doctor in this town seems pretty lax. I mean, if the psychiatrist is any indicator of your work ethic and your need for efficacy, I think he could be kind of a shitty doctor.
I just thought it was weird why they like made it a point to mention that they hadn't seen each other. Nobody's seen each other for 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess then in theory, you could say, well, he wouldn't have any idea that Macaulay Culkin's character was a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, the last time they saw each other, they were kids, or they were just babies, stuff like that.
Right,
now, it's like 6 years later, something like that.
Because if this dad stayed over at their mansion, by the way, their 3-story, 19-bedroom fucking mansion in Maine.
On the water. Every fucking window is fucking pointing out to the ocean.
Beautiful. They got like a dungeon where they can lock the kid in at the end. Like fucking crazy. So yeah, let's say you came over, you stayed for a week at your brother's house with Macaulay Culkin, this kid. If this kid's like 8, you're gonna catch on to him. If this kid's like 1, 2, a little too young to be, fucking shooting dogs. Like fucking crazy. So, okay, looks at the picture of the mom, and this is when Mark starts thinking that his mom is reincarnating in an already alive person with a soul.
Already alive person, yeah. I'm telling you, he thinks that bird had his mom's soul in it, and the bird fucking flew all the way to Maine and turned into this woman.
So the bird flew to Maine. Then maybe the lobster ate the bird. And then the mom ate the lobster.
And then she ate the lobster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
It's the transitive
that's the way
lobster
it works,
properties. Yeah. So, whatever. He's like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Hey, let's go. I got a real cool thing I got to show you now. And we get to my maybe my favorite part of this movie, which is Mr. Highway. This is the creepiest looking fucking dummy prop.
Just sitting there. If I'm the kid and all the shit I've ever experienced with my fucking cousin, and I walk into that fucking shed, and I see that thing sitting there, I'm walking the fuck out. Because I'm not waiting to find out if it's a dummy or if it's some fucking real person sitting
facing away. And it's wearing like one of the weird paper mache Michael Myers masks that this dickhead was wearing at the beginning. So he whips him around. He's like, that's my buddy, Mr. Highway. We're going to go have some fun. Why don't we go play with Mr. Highway? Again, Tim, and it's a reoccurring theme in my fucking movie watches, the point when I would just leave. Like, just run away. Kids run away all the time. What's the worst that could happen to you in this town?
When my friend Peter, and he bleep his name out, and that other guy went into an ATM and started taking hammers out and started smashing the fucking ATM machines, I fucking booked it the other way because I'm like, nope, I'm done with this.
Yep.
Because I'm like, first of all, that ain't working.
No.
You need a little bit more finesse.
Yeah. It's going to require a little more effort than a hammer.
God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Fucking assholes.
So he's like, all right, well, why don't we take this dummy, this life-sized, man-sized dummy with limbs and dreams.
Has my fingerprints all over it.
Of
that
course.
Looks like something that a kid would make.
Okay. So it's got a paper mache mask, right? That's presumably molded from somebody's face. Whose face could Macaulay Culkin use to make this?
Well, no, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say the mask didn't make it through the fucking 12-car pileup, right? The mask got destroyed, got run over, so that's fucked up. Just who would make something like this?
Yeah, that's the other.
And then let's see who lives within like a walking radius of where this bridge is.
Yeah, it's not... You don't need Columbo for this one. Let me tell you.
Yeah, this got kids written all over it 100%.
Yeah. This would SVU. This would get solved in the cold open. That's how fucking easy this one.
No, it's SVU. They would still need like 37 different fucking red herrings, and then you find out, oh, it was just some kid throwing a dummy over it.
That's true. Yeah, somebody, it was a sex doll, then they got to go to a sex...
Yeah, somebody touched the kid, that's why he threw it over.
They got to go to a sex doll club, and then they're looking, they can bring pictures of it, like the club in Seven with the fucking knife strap on. And then they find out, yeah, some kid made it. I don't know, some kid was sniffing around here, asked me about making dummies. So I sent him, I told him to fuck off. And that's your, like, Danny Trejo character at the sex club. Yeah. So, this is the scene, by the way, that sold the movie for me, too. The first time I watched it, I'm like, fuck, dude, this rules. This is the best movie. So, they drag it up to this highway overpass. And then Macaulay Culkin's character just gets on this little tirade about like, yeah, I don't know, man. Mr. Highway's a little depressed. And I'm like, dude, this little psycho.
It's great because they had the way they got him sitting out there too. It looks like the two kids are standing on either side of him. And you're driving. You're not going to see this is a fucking dummy. Yeah, it looks like and he's just sitting on the rails, like he's just ready to just like lean forward at any fucking second and jump off.
There's all these cars driving by, but I love that this. Okay, so this kid is about to commit attempted murder, right?
Manslaughter at best.
I mean, he knew what he was doing and that it had the possibility of killing somebody.
That's true. Yeah.
Manslaughter, I don't know, maybe a second-degree murder. Maybe not a full-on cold blood.
Yeah, but you could trick that town psychiatrist 1, 2, 3 into a fucking insanity defense.
You could convince the psychiatrist that the dummy was suicidal.
You can convince a psychiatrist who's talking to your cousin behind your back that you're on his side too.
Yeah.
When she said that, I'm on your side too. I'm like, you can't be on both their sides. What the fuck?
Also, don't tell them that you're on anybody's side if you're a psychiatrist. Like that, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because then if you are crazy and you're like, yeah, she's on my side, of course I should fucking listen to the bugs under my skin. They're right.
Yeah.
No, of course. Fucking crazy. Crazy. Okay. But then I love he's got bits. He's got a little bit about, he's depressed. I guess he's just gonna 1, 2, 3. Oh, there he goes.
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
And then a million car pile up. Because first of all, the van that they get in Breaking Bad tips over. Right, the fucking RV.
It blows up with all that meth chemicals blowing all over the goddamn place.
The RV tips over, and then 90 people behind them all just decide, slam on their brakes and veer into each other. That's the move. So there's cars like flipping. There's shit like it, dude. It's a great scene. Like as far as filming it, they fucked some cars up, man.
Yeah, but later on we find out miraculously nobody was even hurt.
They had to put that.
You're in that RV.
Yeah.
Eddie, let's say you and your wife go on an RV trip,
Yeah.
right? And you're driving
Mhm.
and she's sleeping in the back, and that happens to your RV.
Yeah.
She's hurt, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's dead.
Yeah.
That RV? She's fucking dead. I mean, the only thing worse would be is if she was in a fucking Cybertruck. I love somebody pointed out that those things are basically rigid steel that's driving almost.
Yeah, with no crinkle zone or whatever the fuck it is that they call it. Yeah.
And somebody pointed out, there's like, dude, if you get in a head-on collision, that's just death. Like, you're fucked, right? And the guy,
or if you just hit somebody, a pedestrian, what normally would have been like maybe a broken leg, it's actually with those sharp points are going to puncture them and go right through their fucking spine.
But the point this guy's trying to make is like, it's also not safe for you as the driver, dickhead. And the guy's all like, too bad, that's not my fucking problem. Like, motherfucker, it is your problem if you get into a head-on collision with something. If you ram that into a telephone pole, you're dead. You are fucking dead.
Putting that shit on autopilot? And with that kind of fucking car, you're asking for.
By the way, every Tesla's been recalled because of their autopilot. I fucking love that. Did you see that shit? 2 million cars. That's all of them.
And they put some software update out over the air where that's it. You can't even do the autopilot option anymore on the car. Yeah,
I told you, dude. My neighbor
just never thought it was a good idea. Yeah, it's just too soon for fucking not shitting on Tesla, but I want to get in any company's fucking self-driving car right now on a fucking highway or a fucking real life Manhattan.
Again,
driving around in fucking Midtown.
I brought it up in the Discord. I think with just EVs in general, we're at that first generation iPhone versus Windows Phone era. Like, people love the iPhone, and it's a great phone now. But remember, the first generation didn't have apps on it. Like, it was a fucked up phone. It was missing a bunch of basic functionality.
I don't care, man. I was able to make phone calls and listen to my music on the same goddamn thing finally.
No,
that's all
nice.
I cared about.
That was nice. And then the Windows Phone, just nobody used it. Nobody developed for it. We're going to see, like I think we're talking about Toyota. As soon as Toyota makes an EV, then it'll have a universal adapter that works for every charger. It'll be fine.
Wait, they don't?
No, the Tesla chargers, like, people have to use adapters to charge at a Tesla station because it's like Apple. You know, Apple, everything's got to be their proprietary bullshit. That's Tesla.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Tesla getting the government to pay to put these fucking charging stations up?
Yes.
Oh, that's a fucking scam right there.
That's a good one.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to them for that one. So, anyhow, they run off. They hide in this fucking storm drain, right? And Henry's like, look, Mark, you're involved too. I've watched a lot of movies.
Your fingerprints are on that dummy too. Somebody saw you carrying it through the woods. Yeah.
I've watched a lot of movies with 50s gangsters, and this is how you get wrapped up in it. Okay. Oh, that's the other note I have.
You're an accessory after the fact. Yeah.
When they dump the mom's ashes out in the desert, I just have they're digging a hole for Pesci next to it.
Just throw the ashes in the hole. They're all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, no one's gonna know the difference. So, okay, and then he points out, but he's like, "But Mark, no. Look, dude, it's fine because once you realize that you can just do whatever you want, you're free." Okay, now
you can fly.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fly.
Now, this is the nail in the coffin for you're dealing with a fucking sociopath. He's like, listen, once you realize society's rules don't matter anymore, you can just be Donald Trump. You can just lie to people to their face. Or
your mom could be reincarnated into your aunt, right?
Or that. I guess he's already playing with that rule book then.
Which, by the way, I was in the city the other day and I walked past fucking Trump Tower, which I was surprised when I actually saw it. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm walking past. There's some dickhead out there. Well, I guess not a dickhead. He's making money. With the fucking Donald Trump mask on, taking fucking pictures of all the goddamn tourists.
That's a good bit. It's a good scam.
It is a good bit.
Yep.
Because I'm like, hey, I hate Donald Trump. Can I take a picture? Sure. Oh, I love Donald Trump. Can I take a picture with you? Sure.
Yeah. That's the old Howard Stern thing when they said that like half of the people that listened did it because they hated him and they were looking for fuel to fucking
the people who like him listen to him for 2 hours a day. The people who hate him listen to him for 3.5 hours a day. Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right, well that's fun. I guess we could just do whatever the fuck we want now. And Henry's like, don't cry about it, man. It's fine. You know, you'll be all right. So whatever. anyhow, back at the house, Henry intercepts a call from Mark's dad. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're doing great. Your kid's a psycho, by the way. We'll talk about that later when you get here. Just planting seeds, right? Sowing a little discontent with the family. Okay, so he's clever. I'll give Macaulay Culkin's character this. He knows
how to cover his tracks and set shit up. He's playing 4D chess.
He truly is. He really, really is. So now the family decides they're going to have a date night, right? So they're like, listen, we're going to put on our sport jacket and you can wear a weird, not looking like a fucking Victorian era ghost dress. And we're going to go to the one restaurant in town.
Lobster place? The lobster restaurant.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're just eating whole lobster at home, what are you going out for in Maine?
Here's the problems I have with this. Where's the babysitter? These kids are not old enough to be left alone by themselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think...
you have one kid who died already.
Yeah,
You're not going to leave your son and your daughter alone by themselves. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. It's not like Elijah Wood is the 17-year-old cousin.
Right.
Where he can be there in charge. They're both the same age.
That's a great point. Like, listen, even under your watch while you were home, a kid died.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you're going to leave kids alone?
Maybe this is the first date night since Dead Kid.
Oh, yeah. I think it might be. Because remember, Macaulay starts a little argument. When he's all like...
Oh, my God. Yo, he cock blocks the dad because I have written down, she's crying about her dead kid.
Yes.
Before they go to dinner. That fucks up the whole date. They come home and she's still crying and talking about the fucking dead kid. I'm like, oh, there goes date night. Yeah.
That was worth however much it costs to go to the one Chinese restaurant in town.
She's just sitting there crying in a wonton soup.
Yeah, just getting...
This soup is 3 inches deep, too.
Has to, like... Jeez. She has to, like, steady herself when they come to refill the tea. Man.
Oh, man. Yeah, not a good day night. Not a good night for anybody involved in that house.
You think the dad just intercepted the fortune cookie? He's like, she's going to read too much into this.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's not going to be positive. You know what? Read the back with the numbers. You could read that.
Don't worry, the sun will come up tomorrow.
Yeah, my son's not going to come up for air tomorrow because he drowned in the fucking bathtub. But no, so the move is, he says, listen, Henry wants to move into dead brother Robbie's room that you crazily have never changed. And Mom's like, I don't want to do that. Dad's like, oh, I don't know, maybe we should, right?
Maybe a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, because, Dad's move is like, yeah, okay, he's in there for a week. We clear his ass out. All of a sudden...
Then we get rid of that furniture. Now I got an office at the house. I don't have to go to the fucking hospital work. Yeah. I can work out of the home. Like, what's that guy's name? Bill Cosby, the Dr. Huxtable.
Dr. Huxtable. And he can have one of those Matt Lauer buttons installed. Where when the patient's in there, he hits the button, the door just slams shut. Ka-tunk. Yeah. So Mom's crying. And they're like, all right, well, this is fun. Let's go have date night while I'm crying. So then they decide, okay, the kids are going to play hide and seek. And the fear is that Henry's going to kill his little sister while they're playing hide and seek.
Yeah, because there's a weird line in this where he corners Henry. He's like, or whatever the kid's name is, Elijah. He goes, you really like my sister, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He's like, well, you want to fuck her?
He didn't go that far with it. They saved that fuck for later on, but because then the implication is that they're going to play hide and seek with the sister, and if Culkin finds her, he's going to kill the sister.
Yep. He's like, you better hope you find her before I do, basically. And then he kills the power to the house.
So wait a second, if this little fucking orphan kid, half an orphan, doesn't show up,
orphan.
Does this go on? Is this what sets Culkin off?
So, yeah, because I remember Culkin got pissed at her for barging into his room, and that made him angry. But yeah, I don't know. Because
all of a sudden he's going to kill a fucking sister.
Yeah,
he's going to kill the mom.
Yes. So he killed the little brother because jealousy, right? Baby brother, he's new. Mom loves him more. Maybe you kill him. We all get it. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah.
Killing the little sister, though. Yeah, not really sure why he goes that direction with it.
And just like, come on, you're like, how fucking unlucky can one family be?
Yeah.
Where you're always the kid that's around when the fucking sibling dies.
Yes. Hey, all of our siblings of mine drowned. One of them in the bathtub and one of them at Old Stark's Pond.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shit, he's got a thing. He's got a water fetish.
Jesus. Then Mom's gonna have to carry a glass of ice out with her when she stares at the ocean. You know, so she can truly mourn properly. So yeah, they play a little cat and mouse around there, and then it just ends up Henry finds her, but he's just tickling her. All right, he's like, all right, well, we're done playing, Marcus. I'm gonna go read you a bedtime story. And then he reads her some like Madeline shit about how some little girl had to get her appendix out. Then all the other girls are like, I want my appendix too.
All the other kids, yeah.
What the fuck?
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss shit.
Yeah. Like the star-bellied Sneetches.
Yeah, I want my appendix out. I want a star on my stomach.
So, okay. Next morning, Mark wakes up next to her bed, right? So he's already putting in time on the little girl. So maybe he does want to bang her. Who knows? Wakes up, she's gone. He's like, what the fuck? Goes downstairs. Mom's still freaking out about the dead little boy.
Yeah.
So nothing went down that night.
It just is an erection, yeah.
You know what that's like, Tim? That's like, have you ever like you do an edible, you smoke some weed or something, right? And you're like, all right, I'm just gonna chill. Good for the night, right? And then some shit happens in your life.
Yeah, and it fucks the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah,
up.
Because you're like,
yeah.
I'm too high to deal with this. But then there's got to be something where like adrenaline or something hits your system and then it just flushes out. And you're like, fuck, that was a waste. What a fucking waste, man.
Smoking that good New York City sour diesel, and now instead of 2 hours later being straight and high, it's now 45 minutes later and I got to deal with this goddamn shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So this dad, he put in the work. He took her out to dinner the whole fucking night and then into the next morning. It's like,
still with the morning, yeah.
Still with the dead kid. Look, I'll put another one in you. How about that? Fuck, I already did. That didn't work. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Maybe that's why he wants that office. He can get away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not doing great with the kids. He's got the psychopath as a kid.
The daughter.
The kid who can't hold his breath.
Yeah. Old Blubby. Fucking bath time for Blubby over there. He's fucking toast. Yeah. So it's like, all right, yeah, well, hey, he gets up, checks in, like, what's going on? Nothing. Henry took the sister out to Stark's Pond. Or Old Miller's Pond. That's what it is.
Yeah, for the ice skating.
Stark's Pond is South Park. That's where I'm getting that from. So, okay, Henry fucking whips over there with the daughter, with the sister, and he's speed skating around in circles. Fucking little Mark just runs out the front door. They're like, where's he going? Oh, whatever. We don't get.
He's not acting crazy.
He's not our kid. I mean, I do know that 3 of the 4 doors in our house run off immediately to a cliff into the ocean, but he'll probably be fine.
You've opened a window too fast, you're going to fall into the ocean.
Here's the thing. If the way I look at it, Henry killing the little brother was almost a mercy killing because that kid was just going to stumble out into the ocean.
True. That fucking whole property is a death trap. Between that, the fucking abandoned factory, the well.
Yeah, the well in the fucking graveyard, the
dog running around. Yeah.
Yeah, really, it was a mercy killing.
Maybe that cat's got rabies or something. So
cat's probably got rabies. Yeah, I mean, it's a Steven.
There's probably a beehive around. The kid might have been allergic to bees.
Oh, that would have been great.
In the family.
How great would it have been if Mark just showed up with a beehive on a stick? I heard you're allergic, you little fucker.
That's how we should have beat him at the end of the movie. Throw him in a fucking beehive at him.
Just give him the old fucking Nicolas Cage. The bees, no. Oh, fucking shit. So, yeah, he fucking whips her ass over to the thin ice. Then the kid stands up like a dummy instead of, like, distributing her body weight evenly.
Come on. She's a little girl. What do you expect?
Don't care.
She doesn't know about shit like that.
So then, you know what? Then she can't go out there.
Don't go ice skating.
There you go,
yeah,
Tim.
That's right. If you have a thin ice part on the lake, you should be telling everybody before. Well, I mean, they're bringing their own skates.
You think on the way over to the pond that Macaulay Culkin's character was like, listen, I'm pissed off at you. You barged into my fucking room. You're already on thin ice with me, but I'm feeling generous. Let's go skating. You think he
kid's too stupid to pick up on
because
it?
he had to have jokes about Mr. Highway, So you got to do something.
Yeah, but he's trying to impress Elijah. He doesn't have to impress his sister.
That's
right?
true. With the little sister, he's probably just shut up.
She's not even going to be here in 10 minutes, so who
That's
cares?
A good point. Yeah, history is written by the victorious. He's like, man, I was saying the funniest shit on the way over to the pond, and she loved it.
Yeah. She was laughing.
Boy.
Don't feel bad, Mom.
Yeah.
At least she was laughing her ass off on the way to the pond. Yeah.
She was laughing so hard, she's like, man, I don't even miss our dead little brother anymore.
Yeah, she likes going ice skating. Remember when brother didn't like taking baths, but you made him take that bath anyway?
Remember when old Scuba Steve fucked up in the bathtub? No. So whips her out there, and then Mark skids over there, like watches this happen, and then Henry, fucking Macaulay, he like puts a little limp hand out, like, oh, I'm gonna save you.
So it looks like he's trying to help from behind where everybody else can see, but we get the camera view, we see
that he's just
he ain't doing shit
the
to save
hand
her,
back. Good move. Until finally some adults show
It's
up.
a gutsy move because at that point you gotta hope she dies.
That's true, because if she comes back from this,
she's
gonna fucking drop a dime on you. You're gonna end up in the well with the dog.
There ain't no blaming this on your fucking crazy cousin.
Well, can't blame it on the dog either. He's dead.
I
guess you could blame the psychiatrist.
Why? Because she had a psychopath in her house and she didn't even realize it?
No, you could just say, oh, the psychiatrist told me to take her out skating.
Oh, yeah, she had a fear of ice.
Yeah.
So we had to confront it, yeah.
She said, listen.
A brilliant idea was to engulf her in ice.
She said, listen,
so she gets used to it.
You and your sister have a little bit of, shared trauma. And because of that shared trauma, there may be some resentment between. So why don't you guys get out there, do some stuff together, break the ice, And Macaulay's like, oh, go out, do stuff together, break the ice. Gotcha. So no, they cut her out and then they ship her ass off to the hospital. She's fine.
How do they not kill her? She's under the ice, right? She's got her face up against the ice, and they're smashing the ice with an axe and a pick.
Yeah.
A pick.
That'd be funny. The pick just goes straight in her forehead.
That's what I was thinking. How great would that have been? Like, all of a sudden, the ice breaks and pull up, and it's a fucking head. Pull her right.
They pull her up out of there. She's like twitching like a fish that just got gaffed and shit.
Yeah.
Flop her on the ground. That'd be funny. Nah, she lives. They take her to the doctors, though. And so... fucking Henry's in there, of course, at the doctor's place, talking to the psychiatrist, right? Rat, because he's going there to rat out Henry, right? Mark's going there to rat out Henry. Henry's already at the psychiatrist,
but he plays it so good too. He's like, "No, there's things I can't talk about. I can't tell you." So he makes the psychiatrist like pull it out of him.
Yeah.
With like, oh, my cousin's really crazy. He killed the dog. He did that. He tried to kill my sister. He was playing hide and seek, all that other shit.
But right before this, though, is at the hospital. We do see Macaulay try to do the pillow trick on little sister.
Did he? I didn't notice that.
Because he goes in there and you see him like reaching to grab this pillow. And then the mom pops in and is like, hey, Henry, what you up to? And he's like, oh, nothing. Just checking out sister, seeing how she's doing. And that's when the mom is getting a little sus on him.
That first little hit.
Yeah. And then that's when she says, yeah, the doctor said she's not going to remember any of this. So I'm thinking.
Oh, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. I'm thinking mom's lying. She's like, maybe if I tell him she's not going to remember.
He doesn't have to kill her.
Right. See, because he was going for the pillow. So. Maybe that's where he gets his Machiavellian...
The cunning, yeah.
Cunning, yeah, it's from mommy. Damn sure isn't dad. So, Yeah, now the psychiatrist, though, he goes to see her. Psychiatrist thinks he's fucking insane, right? So what does he do to talk the psychiatrist out of thinking he's crazy?
You're on their side, too. Everybody's against me. And then runs out.
Not only that, but he starts saying more crazy shit about his fucking mom being reincarnated to Henry, giving him more fucking fuel. Because Henry confronts Mark, and he's
a stupid kid.
He's like, "What the fuck's going on, buddy?" And he's like, "Look, man, you're fucking insane. What the fuck are you talking about? You know, just play along with my shit." Then Mark's like, "Yeah, I'm crazy. Your mom, it's not your mom anymore. Now that's my mom. And she's gonna come back and your mother to be with me." It's like, fucking shit, dude. You know what?
That's what I told you. They're two psychopaths. They're just different.
Maybe Henry's doing all this shit because he's afraid of Mark. He's like, I got to show him.
That's what I said. This is the Elijah Wood showing up sets Henry off. He already did the thing with the brother. Okay, maybe that was an innocent accident, right?
Nah, maybe.
Maybe, right? At that point, maybe he wasn't killing animals. It was just like, hey, let's see if the kid can breathe under the water for 5 minutes. Whatever, right?
Yeah, he's a scientist.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. But now he's getting ready to kill his sister twice, trying to finish the fucking job.
Yeah.
Getting ready to off the mom. We don't. How weak is the fucking dad that he doesn't have to worry about killing the dad? He's like, I got that motherfucker under my thumb.
It is fun that none of the dads do anything in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, one of them's just
That's
gone.
why I think they're brothers, yeah.
Yeah, it runs in the family. Just look, man, we're going to make money and kind of be here. Basically, like in any JRPG where the dad is. That's the dads in this. So, okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Mark wakes up in the middle of the night, and he heads downstairs to get himself a bite to eat. The refrigerator door is slightly ajar. Henry walks in. He's like,
"This is one of the best parts of the
so
movie."
Good. Henry walks in.
How he gets him so fucking good with this goddamn shit.
So good. Because Henry walks in and he's like, "What's up, buddy? Feeling a little peckish there, my best friend?
Looking for a midnight snack?
Yeah, go for it. There's plenty of food. You know what? Eat, drink, be merry, have a good time, man." And he's like, "Did you poison the food, dickhead?" It's like, "Me? No, I'd never poison the food and try to kill my family. You know I would never do that, right? So go ahead. Let's get yourself some spaghetti, get a nice glass of chocolate milk. Maybe you could heat up some toast with a little butter, put a little garlic salt on there, a little garlic bread."
But this is where Elijah Wood's head, the first thing he goes to is the kid is poisoning the food.
So
instead of he's eating something or whatever, right?
Yeah. So he implies that, he poisoned the food. And fucking dumb shit Mark falls for it. We cut to the middle of the night. You can just hear the garbage disposal. Elijah Wood has got about 14 pounds worth of food stuffed in this sink.
The Christmas turkey is going down that fucking drain. Then he takes the plunger, whatever it is, and he's just like fucking stabbing the goddamn sink like a fucking
jamming
madman.
It with a stick down there, just freaking out, like having a fucking fit. And he's got this it's like a punch bowl sized bowl of spaghetti and meatballs. Like that's enough food to feed like 9 people. It's ridiculous.
And it's not even covered.
No, it's just
a big bowl of spaghetti with the fucking 2 meatballs on it and the fucking dry sauce all over the goddamn thing.
Dry ass noodles. You know those noodles are like fucking rubber. You know.
From Maine? Oh, come on.
Yeah. Mainers don't really do a good pasta. You get a lobster roll from them, maybe, but I don't know about a pasta. Not a lot of Italians up there, I don't think. So anyway.
I don't think so. I don't remember too many Italians in any Stephen King book I read. So, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So anyway, he looks like a fucking psycho. So they come downstairs like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, No, he's poisoned all the food. He's going to kill you all. And they're like, "Oh, okay. So your brother's son, you say we should have your brother's son stay with us for a couple of weeks. It'll be no big deal." Yeah, you're not getting pussy again. This ain't even about our dead kid. This is about your brother's fucking kid.
It's all the food wasted, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. How pissed off I would be.
Oh man, especially because sometimes that cold spaghetti hits.
It hits
at like fucking 2:00 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're on your way
Mm-hmm.
down there, and all of a sudden, this little fucking kid's like got his fucking fingers all in it and shoving it down the goddamn garbage compactor.
Dude, I used to at night when I was a kid, when you have leftover spaghetti and meatballs, I'd go down there, I'd just get a couple of meatballs, some of the sauce, throw it on some bread, make a little sandwich. Oh my god, fantastic!
I can't tell you how many times I've opened up a fucking jar of tomato sauce and just dipped the fucking bread into it and eaten it at 1:00 in the morning. It kills my stomach in the next day, but
well, it's not good, but but it's fucking
tastes good at the
it's
time.
fantastic. And this dickhead, this asshole, ruins it all. So they're like, "All right, you got to go to the dead kid's room now, you fucking little son of a bitch."
Yo, how tiny is that bed? He
God.
can't fit into that bed.
I mean, I know he's a hobbit, but he can't fit in that bed. No chance. No fucking chance. Dude, there's like
those gigantic feet are going to be hanging all over that fucking bed.
Plus, I mean, there's the famous scene about them talking about second breakfast and 11sies and all the different food. And then this fucking dickhead hobbit just ruins a house full of food.
You're gonna say, if you're talking about The Hobbit, I've never seen it, but yeah, I've heard about the second breakfast thing. Yeah,
Samwise would have been pissed at Frodo in this one. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they lock his psycho ass up, and Mom starts noticing Henry is snooping on the mom and dad having a conversation. She's like, "Hey, dude, go to your room. We're talking about adult stuff. How about that?"
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes, starts doing her own little investigation of his shed, and finds Tim. You strike me as a guy who bathes with rubber duckies on occasion.
I don't think I've ever had a rubber ducky in my entire life.
Damn. Really?
The last time I took a bath, I was probably like fucking maybe 10 or 11 years old.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I take showers just in case anybody's wondering.
Tim's just disgusting.
I'm not Pigpen, yeah.
Pigpen. Yeah, that's a good reference for all of our younger listeners. Pigpen.
Oh, come on. Charlie Brown is still big with the kids, right?
Can't be. There's no way Charlie Brown could be big.
Your daughters don't know about Charlie Brown.
No, I don't think so.
Wow! Holy shit!
If I asked, if I asked my oldest daughter, because she'd be the one that would know what Charlie Brown was. If she could remember it, she might say, "Oh, isn't that weird store we went to with all the little doodads and the different kinds of meat and stuff?" That's it.
Okay.
But you can't honestly...
The little doodads with all the meat.
Yeah, well, there's a little, novelty junk store that it's called Charlie Brown up around here. Anyhow, but can you honestly tell me you oh my God, Charlie Brown cartoons are great. You really enjoy that?
Oh, no, I hated all the Charlie Brown cartoons, but when I was a kid, that was it. What are you going to do? It's Christmas.
Yeah, you didn't really have a lot of options.
Yeah.
See, kids nowadays, they don't need to watch Charlie Brown. There's other options. Why the fuck would you watch it? Have you ever met somebody?
They got their freedom.
Have you ever met somebody that likes Charlie Brown shit?
I don't think so.
I met one guy that did. There's a coworker of mine, and he's also a Disney guy, adult with a year pass to Disney. Yeah. Yeah, that look on your face. He ain't got kids? No, he does. He does. But he would have that pass without kids.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys.
Yeah. Okay. Say no more. Yeah.
He's a real little he's a real Henry type, if you know what I mean. So yeah, she finds the little dead kid's fucking giant rubber duck. Rubber duck is
huge. It is fucking huge.
It's the size of a softball. It's a big fucking...
It's like you could jump in a pool and sit on this fucking thing and float.
It's a big-ass rubber duck. And she's like, hey, because Henry pops into the shed like, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, bitch, what am I doing? I'm owning your life, motherfucker. You don't ask me what the fuck. What are you doing, you son of a bitch? Get to work. Go do some... I haven't seen you do one chore this entire fucking movie. Go clean the kitchen.
Yeah, I thought this was your wax shed, and I come in, I find a bunch of fucking dolls hanging from their fucking neck, and the fucking rubber duck that disappeared after my son drowned in the tub.
And can I tell you, of the shit in that shed, rubber duck might be the thing I'm least worried about. Because let's say...
Yeah, he's literally got like 3 or 4 fucking dolls hanging from their fucking neck from the ceiling.
Let me say, like, people deal with grief in different ways. And you could tell me, listen, some kid who's not really, you know, old enough to get it, their little brother or little sister dies, so they squirrel away one of their toys, right? Yep. You could tell me that, and I could say, you know what? People deal with grief in different ways. I don't know. That could be natural.
He tries that line on her, yes.
And right, he does. And she's still like, no, give me the fucking duck, you son of a bitch. So she might be a little unhinged, too. Just say.
Maybe the whole fucking family is crazy, and that's why both the dads are like, I'm going to Tokyo, and I gotta go work at the hospital. I'll see you in like 3 days.
The dad doesn't.
I'm on call.
The dad's not even going to Tokyo. He just took up with some hooker in Reno or some shit. Oh, man.
Hey, your wife is dead, and my wife ain't giving me any because of our dead kid. So, yeah, I'll meet you in Las Vegas.
Oh, my God. That'd be such a fun, like a Vegas vacation. But it's like, listen, I'm going to dump my kid off on you. You pretend you're just like at work all the time. We're going to go on a road trip. We're going to go all up
Your wife's going to be so busy taking care of my crazy kid. She ain't going to be calling us to see what's going on.
We're going to go all up and down Maine and just hit all the spots in Maine.
Wow. Maine strip clubs. That's got to be something. Yeah. Going into a strip club in Bangor?
Well, I mean, the title's right there.
Bangor, yeah.
Bangor, yeah. It's like a lighthouse-themed strip joint.
That's all the poles are shaped like lighthouses?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you know what, Tim? We were knocking it. I might want to go to a Bangor, Maine strip joint.
And get a lobster roll while you're at it.
It smells like fish in here. Like, yeah, well, we're doing lobster rolls.
Yeah, it's a lobster, yeah.
You know what, Tim? Maybe we should open it. The Bangor, Maine strip joint. I think we could pull it off. So anyhow, now this movie just starts moving at a crazy ass pace, right? Because we're at the end, basically. Right. So Mom's convinced now, okay, something's fucked up because this kid's got the rubber duck, so maybe, I don't know.
He fought like a fucking banshee Wolverine over the goddamn ducks, yeah?
Dude, and here's the thing. I get serial killers need a trophy or whatever. It's a great piece of advice for everybody. Act like you've been there before. You know what I mean?
But he's a kid. This is his first one. It was his brother, so it's extra special.
That's true.
Right?
You got a little Cain and Abel mixed in with him popping his cherry.
He's got a thing with water, so the rubber ducky kind of plays into that too.
Yeah. He popped his cherry on his brother. That's rough.
There might be a better way of putting that.
In the bathtub. You know? So anyhow.
Worst game of Clue ever.
Oh, God. I did it with the rubber duck in the bathroom with my brother. What, the murder? Nah, fucked him. So anyway.
I thought it was Miss Scarlet did it in the bedroom with a candlestick.
Yeah. So yeah, he snatches the rubber duck and tosses it down the well. I'm like, what the fuck does that? Is that now you're getting rid of the evidence?
No, because I think what it is in his crazy mind, everything in the well is his.
Oh.
That's where he keeps his secret box. That's where he gets rid of the dog, right?
That's true. That's where he can be.
Now, nobody can ever get that rubber ducky except for him, because nobody's ever going to know where it is. He's going to know where it is at all times, right? Yeah. So he's thinking like a little serial killer. He's growing up.
Nice. All right, that makes a little more sense. Then I get
the trip with the little talk with the psychiatrist gave him that little extra edge that he needs to get that confidence. Like, I could fool this stupid bitch.
Yeah, that was the one thing Macaulay Culkin's character was missing in this was confidence. That's a good point. This kid who just you could do literally anything you want to do. He needs some confidence. So, okay. I guess then well-adjusted mom hits the suicide cliff again. Because she's got to contemplate it. Like, dude, if you're depressed...
The only place she can go to think?
I mean, sure. She doesn't have a weird... I don't know what kind of office, what weird Cliff Huxtable office the dad had that they lock Elijah Wood in at the end. But I don't think she has one of those of her own. I mean, maybe they could convert the dead kid's
Oh, yeah.
room.
Did we skip over the part where the dad catches him
We're
with
getting to that
Elijah Wood
right
holding
now.
the fucking scissors?
Yeah,
Oh.
so that's coming up right now. So this is when Henry's practicing crying in a mirror, and he's like, well, I figure when your mom dies, you probably cry, right? So people are going to expect that I have to cry. And dude's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you going to kill your fucking mom? And he's like, no. Remember, it's not my mom anymore. It's your mom. Oh.
Chef's kiss. Chef's fucking kiss, man.
So
like, yeah,
good.
what are you going to say? He got your ass.
I mean, either you're crazy and you're like, yeah, you're right. That isn't my mom. I was acting insane by thinking that. Like, yeah, he's fucking got him. It's a good point, Tim. But instead, no, he just decides Henry he needs to die. So fucker just grabs scissors, pins Henry down to the ground, and Henry just unfazed. And you got to give it to Macaulay Culkin on this one, because they're just acting cool as a cucumber the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they always say like kid actors can be obnoxious because they're over the top, right? The way he plays this character is just unaffected by anything is perfect.
I think that's how he played all his characters as a kid.
Yeah. True. Yeah, Kevin.
Because I think he's Richie Rich. He's the same thing in Richie Rich as this, I think.
I don't know. Kevin McAllister was running around screaming and shit and going to church. And...
Yeah. Well, he was a younger kid, and why was he screaming? Because he was a little fucking psychopath trying to kill people. Too,
that's true.
Getting off.
Yeah. That's a good point. This really isn't too far of a stretch.
So now he has learned to act like he's been there before.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh man, you know what? This could be a shared universe. No problem. Just men who
another big ass house.
Men with
just dropping the kid off.
Jobs, dropping kids off with mansions. Like,
we're going to Paris. You take care of them for the 2 weeks. That's it. That's how you get the tie.
Maine to like Midwest is not that big of a difference culturally. Maybe It's still a little weird. Say words a little fucked up.
Cold. Yeah.
I could see. No John Candy in this though. He was the best part of Home Alone, you got to admit.
He was usually the best part of anything that he was in.
The fucking story about how they left his son at the fucking funeral home with the dead. He's like, hey, kids are fine. They'll rebound after anything. You didn't talk for a couple of months, but, kids are tough.
Back then, they're playing on wells, hanging off cliffs.
Yeah, throwing Mr. Highway off the fucking intersection. Oh god, never did anything that bad. I never unintentionally intentionally killed somebody. So I might have unintentionally.
It was always an accident.
Yeah, I gotta.
It was manslaughter. Yeah.
Well, Tim, you can't guarantee you didn't ever accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
something I did.
Butterfly effect.
Had the trickle down effect. Yeah.
You took a parking spot somebody was going to take, and he's like, "Well, that's it. Time to go walk into the ocean."
Jumped ahead of somebody in line at the supermarket. Well, they ended up having the brick fall on the head while they were walking out the door.
Yeah. You never know. Somebody at the pet store could have been making overtures at you, and then you reject them. And they just go eat kitty litter until they die or something. I don't know how they would do that, but whatever. Oh
man, that cat litter.
So Mom
had some good times on that cat litter bag.
So Dad busts in, drags Mark out, and locks him up in his stupid little like weird den /
I read that you got to put this little fucking psychopath in a closet. You can't put him in a room where he's going to improvise. How many different fucking weapons are in that goddamn room?
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I think it might be time to give Mark a bath, if you know what I'm saying. So, no. Anyhow, Mom goes in to... Mom shows up to see what the fuck's going on. Henry intercepts her, right? It's like, hey, Mom, I'm a little bummed out. I need to talk. Can we go for a walk like we used to? Make her all wistful.
Playing all those notes, yeah.
So they go on a walk, and Mom confronts him. She's like, listen, did you kill your little brother, man? Because nobody was allowed in there after I found his dead body, and you had the rubber duck. So that means you were in there while he was still alive.
Before, yeah.
So did you fucking do it? And he's like, you know what, lady? I am frankly insulted that you would levy these charges against me. I am frankly morose about this. I'm going to run and jump off of your cliff, and then you can't even enjoy that. How about that?
Well, no, he hits it with the line with, what if I did?
Yeah, what if I did? It's like, ooh, yeah, that's a good question. What if you did?
We'll get you help. And he's like, you just want to put me away in a home. I'd rather be dead.
Yep.
And that's when he goes running off. Yeah. And she goes chasing after him like an idiot.
She runs over to the edge of the cliff, looks over the edge of it, can't see him. She's like, what the fuck? Good move. Good move from him, by the way. Because he just
backtracked. Yeah. He did a shining on her.
Yeah, he backtracked. And then fucking just goes in and gives her the old Goldberg spear and knocks her ass off the cliff. So she's hanging off the cliff, climbs her ass up, because up on top...
No, hold on. You forgot a part, because as she's hanging on the cliff, he's standing over there with a gigantic fucking rock in his hands that he's going to, like, get ready to fucking just drop on her fucking head because he's holding onto the fucking branch.
This little dickhead grabs, like, a fucking boulder, and he's got it up above his head, and he's like, no, over there, 2 clicks to the left, and... Gonna fucking take her.
Well, I mean, look, last time you didn't finish the job with the sister. She lived. You're hoping that she doesn't remember anything. The mom's a different story. If she lives to tell, she's definitely gonna know she's gonna remember what happened. So you gotta finish the job off. But then he gets tackled.
Speaking of Breaking Bad, to quote Mike Ehrmantraut, no half measures. You got to go the whole fucking way, buddy. If you're gonna kill your mom, you do it. You get that rock.
That's right.
Make sure. But he gets intercepted. Mark fucking dive bombs his ass, and we just get kid fight for the end of the movie. That's the climax. Mom climbs up, and then, I don't know, they're rolling around. And I got to say, the ending of the movie is probably the weakest part for me.
Yeah.
If I'm a producer and somebody comes up to me with this script, I'm like, all right, it's pretty cool. We got Mr. Highway. I love that. Weird incest angle, mom and the new mom, whatever. It's a trip. People like it. How does it end? Well, you ever hear of Sophie's Choice? So yeah.
But a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but what about that? But it's literal, like a literal cliffhanger. So mom's holding both kids with one hand off the edge of the cliff. And I do love Macaulay Culkin's like, Mommy, I need your other hand, Mommy. I love you.
I love you.
And it's like, dude, you just tried to kill her.
Yeah, but you gotta play on those. You gotta play with the cards you got. At that point, what else has he got? It can't be, hey bitch, pick me up, bring me up there so I can finish you off. Right?
I'm gonna give you another gambling analogy here, Tim. If I'm the mother, I'm just mucking the hand, both of them, gone.
That's true. This other one's creepy. Yeah.
Look, man, we're gonna need to start over here. We can get the little girl over.
Just start over. The little girl. My daughter's okay. She's pretty good, right?
I mean, so far.
She might be in the hospital for the rest of her life. Who knows how long she was underneath that water? But
fair. I mean, luckily though, usually women don't spin out as hard as men do. Like, you don't get a lot of female serial killers. You know.
That's true.
You get a fair amount.
Well, they just don't get caught.
Well, the problem is usually they're the poisoners and shit, and then you never find out about it until they admit to it 30 years later.
Yeah, well, and you always have that trope about how there are no female serial killers, so they get away with it because cops are just thinking, there's no way a chick did this.
It's true, yeah. So, yeah, she drops his ass and kills her son.
So she ended up did she pick the good son?
Well, better question... is maybe that Elijah Wood's mom now? Maybe she really did come into her body.
While they were at the cliff, the bird landed on it. Finally transferred the mom's soul, and that's...
the bird shit.
She's like, hey, yo, mom, what are you talking about? I ain't seen you in 10 years.
A seagull shit on her head, and that was the soul entering her body, along with some sort of a brain parasite. This could be the same thing. Soul, brain parasite, who knows? So yeah, he's fucking dead. And now we come back to Mark in the desert, and he's talking about how at night, sometimes I wonder if she ever regrets killing Henry. And then credits.
If she had it to do over again, would she do the same thing? I'm like,
why?
I mean, the kid's a fucking psychopath. He killed your fucking son. He tried to kill your daughter. He tried to kill you.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at the very least, she's got rid of that kid and fucking Elijah Wood's back in the fucking mountains of Utah or Colorado.
But, like, that's what that character took from this entire experience, is he's like, gee, it was really a coin toss there at the end, huh? Like, that was the message. That was what he took from the movie.
Yeah, did he stop believing that that's his mom? Wouldn't that be, like, more enforce his fucking delusion? That, of course, my mom's going to pick me to save?
Yeah. You know what? Elijah Wood loves doing, like, crazy horror shit. Somebody should reach out to him and be like, listen, can we get a follow-up to The Good Son where it's you now, still thinking that that's your mother, trying to track her ass down? Like,
Eddie, that's an idea, right?
I mean, it's something. Yeah, that's for sure. And you know what else, Tim? This movie's something, because that's it. That's The Good Son.
It's a good movie overall, I think, right? My wife started watching it like maybe 15 minutes into it.
I mean,
because once she started picking up, like, she's like, what's wrong with that kid?
Yeah. You know what?
Like, which one?
This title might be a little bit of a misnomer, Tim, because he doesn't seem too good. Wait, would that mean, well, wait a minute, maybe the dead kid's the good son then, right?
He's quiet, doesn't bother you, no waking up.
You don't have to,
no more baths.
Don't have to worry about, no more baths, that's for sure. Oh, God. So yeah, no, totally an enjoyable movie. I mean, it's, like I said, it's got its flaws. Like, I do think the ending is pretty weak. I think that's why.
I mean, it wasn't too much of an ending. How else could you have done an ending like that? Because you know that she's going to have to make yes, at the end she's going to have to make a choice between which one of the kids she believes or is going to go along with.
You could end it a different way, though. You could just have it so Elijah Wood kills him and then he gets fucking institutionalized or some shit. You could end it any number of ways. I'm just saying, more evidence that it's a Stephen King movie. The ending sucks.
Bad ending, yeah.
But a fun world. So definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. And I feel like it's one of those movies that a lot of people might have missed. You know what I mean? It's early enough in the 90s, and it's
got a 25 on Rotten Tomatoes.
25%?
25%? That's what I saw.
Wow, that's lower than I would have imagined. I could see it getting like a 60, maybe a 65, 70-ish.
50?
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, that's fair. That's really low for it, man. That's critics, or is that people?
I don't know. Just whatever it is that I watch on it just has that little Rotten Tomatoes emblem, and it just said 25.
Well, let's find out here. Holy shit, you are not wrong, buddy. Yeah, 20.
Is it critics
25 tomato meter. So that's critics. Audience gave it a 54, Tim. So we nailed it.
Okay, let's see. Fuck the critics. Yeah, man. Come on.
Oh, man.
Shitting on Macaulay.
Yeah, those motherfuckers. Oh, Tim, buddy. You know what we got to do next week? Fuck doing Christmas. The Christmas will be a special. Man, I almost forgot. We got to do The Crush.
With Alicia Silverstone?
Yes.
Tom Skerritt?
Was Tom Skerritt in that one? Carrie Elwes?
Who's the guy?
Was in it?
The guy from Saw?
Yeah, it's the guy from Saw, Princess Bride. Yeah. Kurtwood Smith is in it. Tim, buddy.
Okay. All right, so I'm getting my Tom Skerritt movies mixed up with
I think
Lolitas.
With Lolitas. Yeah. No, which one are you? Is that The Babysitter you're thinking of with Tom Skerritt?
Is it? Is it something? I think Drew Barrymore. I think it's Drew Barrymore and Tom Skerritt.
Yeah. No, because that's Jeremy London in The Babysitter. Yeah. Oh, maybe it was The Crush. No, we have to do The Babysitter, not The Crush. That's right. I'm confusing my Alicia Silverstone. That's not till 95. We got a couple of months. The Babysitter is the one.
It's funny how that trope just kind of like disappeared from movies. You don't see that too many times anymore.
Oh, with, Lolita Fatal Attraction movies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad. Let me tell you.
It ran its course. All those people who were writing those movies died out.
That's a trope I could do without, buddy. So, Tim, buddy, you have anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Like I say, always pay attention to us. If you can join the Patreon, give us a 5-star review on Spotify. I was going to say Apple. Well, yeah, no, there's podcasts on Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon's got podcast. I mean, we're on everything.
On Audible.
Audible, yeah. Audible's got our
Yeah,
podcast
so
up
listen
there.
to it on listen to one show on all the devices and give us all 5-star reviews on every one.
That's a good one. That's a great
That Good
idea.
Pod thing. Like the Good Pod thing, we're missing out.
Yeah.
We could be like number one.
Yeah, we're
on
like
that thing, I'm telling you.
25 for film in the Good Pod. So we could be higher than that. Come on, you fuckers.
We can bump it up.
Get to work on that. So yeah.
Well, let's see. Now that Candace isn't on the show anymore, we might get that non-Candace bump.
I think we're going to lose our female audience.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
Well, it was fun while
go check
it lasted.
us out too on Patreon at patreon.com/bloodybits, where you can get access to our bonus episodes as well as video episodes. And Tim, I'm going to aim to get the video out before the audio, just the straight up podcast. So a little exclusive. You get your content first.
Nice.
You can hear it before everybody else.
You'll know all the jokes before everybody else hears them, and you'll be like the king of the Discord.
You will.
Like, hey, I bet that Yobo was really great this week.
Like, oh, that whole joke Tim was making about the incest, that was fantastic.
Yeah, Tim wants more Lolita movies. What?
And hey, you know what? If that wasn't enough to convince you, you could also get access to the blood bank. Now with 7,100 fucking movies. Jesus Lord, Tim.
And then soon to be 7,101 with targets.
So we got targets coming up. That'll be up tonight. We got Dead by Midnight, Why to Kill. Film.
That's the name of the movie, Why to Kill?
Yeah, that's the parenthetical subtitle is Why to Kill. It came out in 2022. It's a horror anthology. Wow, this looks like crap. Never mind.
Wait, it's making a reference to Y2K.
And it's a horror anthology.
But it came out in 2022.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a lot of description. It says here, the film is a new horror anthology that's carving out a new brand of terror with original storytelling and iconic horror stars. Y2Kill has assembled a team of horror legends for 5 terrifying segments, each more deadly than the last.
Okay, I'll take their word for it.
It's got Kane Hodder.
Hey, he's kind of famous in the horror world.
It's got Bill Moseley.
I think people have seen a movie or two with Bill Moseley in it.
They certainly have. It's got Aaron Brown.
Got me on that
Me
one.
too.
Sorry.
But you got to have some broads because there's got to be some tits. Let's see what else. Let me find a better one to end this one on here. Never mind. That's the best one I could find. No. What else? I'm sorting it by what date added is what we'll do here. Oh, Tim, Hellbreeder, buddy. You got to watch this. Came out in 2004. 5 years ago, Alice's son was murdered. Every day is consumed with the need to find his killer. The arrival of a mysterious stranger leads Alice to suspect him to be the killer, and it coincides with a renewed spat of horrific child murders.
I'm betting it's the mom.
Oh, you think so? Yeah. Well, it's got a clown on the cover.
And the person coming back is her reincarnated son trying to stop her because he was her first victim.
Oh, that'd be a good one, Tim. And it can have a terrible ending and be by Stephen King. How about that? So you can get access to all that and more, of course, at patreon.com/bloodybits. And Tim, buddy, I think that this is how we end it.